delivery is going to be in the air to right center field. That's going to fall in. Manny Machado on his way to third. Hernandez over to get it. Bobby Dickerson waving him home. Here's the throw. The Orioles win it. Orioles win it. Jonathan Scope. Game-winning RBI, and the Orioles win it 1-0 in 13 innings. It's the Orioles on Masson after an exciting win last night. The Orioles continue this 4-game set against the Blue Jays, looking to climb even higher into that wild card race. Boy, what a finish it was for the Orioles last night, coming up with a 13-inning victory, and a big one for the Orioles. They would have lost ground last night in light of the other scores. They did not. So they come in again, just a game and a half out of that wild card spot, with the Twins holding down that number 2 position. For the Orioles this year, after a season against Toronto last year where they went 9-10, they are now 10-4 against the Jays. One of the reasons they're winning ball games the tough way. They're doing it with walk-offs. That was the 3rd walk-off win against Toronto this season. Here are all 3. The Orioles opened up against Toronto. Game number 1, Mark Trumbo, a solo shot, 11th inning. That came off Grilly, and the Orioles came away with an opening day 3-2 win. Then on May 19, 1-on-2 out, Wellington Castillo, go-ahead 2-run shot in the 10th. Second home run of the ball game for him. Orioles win it 5-3. The 3rd walk-off against Toronto this season, that was last night, the one you just saw. The Orioles and Toronto struggling to try and find runs. From Manny Machado all the way around from first, and the Orioles, a game-winning RBI for Scope and a 1-0 win. The Orioles just find a way, Jim, this season to come back and win ball games.
They really do. I mean, they did last night. They got off to a 22-10 start by winning the 1-run game. So they were 8-1, and in the year of the home run, the irony is there were 3 1-0 ball games played in Major League Baseball yesterday. Orioles was able to do it, but if anybody watched the game, and it did go a long time, there were thrills and chills and great pitching and great plays and great defense. The Blue Jays, they had the most extra base hits. In fact, the Orioles did not have an extra base hit till the double by Scope in the 13th. So very timely. They win the ball game. Everybody chipped in, and again, they got a tough game tonight because Stroman has been pitching about as well as anybody in the American League for them. Talking about the Jays since the All-Star break.
Going up against Wade Miley, who has had some improving numbers over the last 4 or 5 starts. We'll show those to you when we come back. Blue Jays and Orioles set to go, and the Orioles look to go up in the series 2-1 with a victory. cards with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Here at the Yard tonight, the Orioles have taken advantage of the second half of the season. You take a look at the turnaround starting at the end of July. Third best record in the American League with 21 wins. ERA is fourth since that date. That's a big turnaround. Runs per game tied for first in the AL. Their batting average and home runs are both number one. And that is what has catapulted them back into the wild card race and not very far away from both the 1 and 2 spots. Oh, glory rippling in the wind along with the Canadian flag, and a little breeze blowing here and a misty night. BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? It is a very cool 61 degrees, overcast skies, humidity way up there, and cloudy. And it's been raining all day here in Baltimore, off and on. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. For the Toronto Blue Jays, Pierce, Donaldson, and Smoke. Smoke has been out 3, calf problem. Back in tonight, Bautista, Morales, and Pilar. Barney, Goins, and Maley. For Justin Smoke this season, one of the best against left-handed pitchers.
So Wade Miley, great August, 3-1, coming off a game where he pitches 5 innings. The Orioles win at 2-1 up in Boston. He outduels Doug Fister. So again, it's pretty much about fastball command, because when he throws his fastball over, the curveball, he's been a couple of games where he's used that a lot. Changeup, he's got all the pitches, more comfortable into the right. He's tried to work on establishing the outside, which would be the arm side to right-handers. So again, the ERA, it's kind of gone up until the last month. Great start for him where he pitched well, and then wildness kind of took over. So he does throw the most pitches of any pitcher in the major leagues per inning at 19. He'd like to bring that down so he can get into the 6th or 7th. And then again, the most base on balls in the major leagues. Dominates lefties. There's not, I don't think there's a lefty in the lineup tonight. And then the 19 home runs, 18 of them by right-handed hitters.
So Miley ready to go. He is 1-2 against Toronto on the season. Lifetime carries a 2-6 mark against the ball club. He earned his first win of the year against Toronto in his second start. 3 runs, 5 hits over 6. Then against the Jays at the end of May, gave up 3 runs, 6 hits over 7. Took a loss, but there were 3 unearned runs in that ball game scored against him. Then on June 28, gave up 4 runs, 6 hits in 5 innings. He allowed a couple of home runs in that ball game. So that's his 1-2 mark this year against Toronto. 2-6 lifetime. There is DeMarlo Hale. John Gibbons off on personal business tonight, the manager. So DeMarlo Hale, who's the bench coach, will be the acting manager for the ball game tonight. Former coach, of course, with the Orioles. Miley ready, and we're underway. Pitch will be taken up high. Steve Pearce back into the leadoff spot for the Jays. One of the reasons he is 7 for 17 with 2 home runs off Wade Miley. Miley will catch the outside corner with that one, and a 1-ball 1-strike count.
Yeah, and the reason he was trying to work on that outside corner, because all the scouting reports is he's more comfortable pitching right where he's going to try right there.
That one down the line in left field. Will it stay fair? It is off the wall. It is foul by just that much.
Inches.
He just missed a home run and just missed a double. That was very close to the line going up the wall. And he's going back to the bag just in case here, but the umpire's saying no, it was called foul.
Yeah, take a look, and I mean, we're talking inches. An inch or two, probably may be something that they look at least asked the umpires. Third base umpire Pat Hoberg, he was right down there. And
now this is reviewable because it was in the outfield and it was behind the umpire. If it's in front of him, you can't get a review, but they are not going to ask for it. As the video they were satisfied showed it was a foul ball.
Yeah, so Steve Pearce, who was robbed by the great catch by Trey Mancini in the top of the 13th inning, looked like he got one over his head. Misses a double by what, an inch or two?
It's another conversation right there. I wish I could have heard. You saw Miley said something to Steve as he came by smiling, and Steve was smiling as well as he went by the mound coming back from second base. So Pierce will stand back in, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Pierce has a 3-game hit streak coming in, and he will foul that one off down the line in right field. Smith going over and will not have a play on it into the seats. So Pierce kind of gathering his breath back. I'm surprised he didn't stay out of the batter's box a little bit longer. He'd run down, he came back in, went back out to second base, then came back in again and jumped right into the batter's box ready to go. And Miley, he's not going to give you time to breathe. That ball's going to go to short. Beckham right there.
Yeah, take a look at the Oriole defense. You already saw the shortstops. Let's Machado, Beckham, Scope Davis, the infield, Wellington Castillo behind the plate, Mancini, Jones, who was tossed early, and then you got Seth Smith over in right. So this is what we were talking about. Again, this is a tie ball game. They're going to score a run except for this play. And you can see Steve Pierce, 13th inning. Everybody, of course, in the Oriole dugout, elated. One of the better plays you're going to see.
Great catch. We saw great defensive plays on both sides of the ball last night. It was just a magnificent baseball game. And the unusual part of it, the fact that expanded rosters, home run year, most of all time, 3 one-run games last night in Major League Baseball in the terms of 1-0 ball games. First time that's happened all year. Baseball gods just showing don't get too settled with things. 1 ball 1 strike count. Donaldson at the plate. He's had just a 1 for 7 in the series. Miley with the off-speed delivery to him, had him way out in front, 1-2.
Oh, it was almost kind of like a forerunner to what happens in the playoffs. Not that they don't hit home runs, but usually good pitching dominates. It gives you a good chance to win if you, especially with your starting pitching. Both of the pitchers terrific last night.
That'll just be there on the inside corner. He got him for a K.
Yeah, we talked about more comfortable to the glove side. Now that would be into the righties. Little cut fastball. Wellington Castillo goes right there, and they get the ball. And I think Donaldson might have thought it was low. See right here if it's in. Now see, that's just half the ball. All you could do is have the edge of the ball on the plate. And again, if you get a consenting umpire, you're going to get some strikeouts and more strikes than balls.
Wade Miley getting it in, and now here is Justin Smoke back in the lineup. Their big offensive player missing in the first 2 games of this series and out for a total of 3 with a calf problem. He has gone 5 for 14 with 2 home runs. Lifetime off the Oriole left-hander, and the pitch taken inside. The Jays have struggled more than anyone else in the American League against left-handed starters. They are 11 and 21, 29th in the majors win percentage wise against left-handed starters. Smoke will foul that one the other way. Count goes to 2-1.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about. Great early start, you know, and then all of a sudden June, months where really there was command issues. You know, command in the sense that he would walk too many people, get too deep in the counts, and the hitters were waiting.
Wade Miley delivers one up high. Smoke going after it, couldn't catch up. 2 ball 2 strike count. That was up there.
Yeah, I think it's you know, again, he's trying to get in. It's kind of just a backup cutter slider that he swings right through. And
Wade comes back inside and will just miss to Smoke with that one. Well, the Orioles come in after the win last night. The battle for the wild card spot. They are a game and a half out, as are the Angels behind Minnesota for the 2nd position. The Yankees won today against Boston 5-1. So they continue to be a game and a half up in the wild card race. But it is so tight. Tampa Bay still very much in there. They're not that far away either. 3-2 delivery on the way, and he'll walk him. Miley had hoped for a call on that, didn't get it. He leads the league. That is the 80th walk surrendered this year. And that will bring Bautista to the plate. Bautista got a rest as a starter in the ball game last night. Did come on later in the game to the plate. Bautista has gone 0 for 5 in this series, and he's not had a hit in his last 16 at bats. 2 down, runner on at first base. Miley will come inside again. You see Miley on the follow through, hanging, looking. He desperately wants to be able to get that call that's on the inside part of the plate. Have the questionable ones go his way. That's what Jim's talking about. So important if he's going to have a successful outing. Got that one in the middle of the plate, and Beckham will knock it down, but it'll be a base hit for Bautista. Smoke goes to second with 2 outs.
Yeah, the kind of ball, you know, obviously there's a runner at second. You want to knock it down to keep a run from scoring, but even if he catches it, you're not going to be able to throw him out. Yeah, the problem, again, if you only pitch to one side of the plate and you're more comfortable to, again, the glove side, which is into the righties, in this ballpark, you have to get it in. And we've seen him. That's what the walk was about. You know, you can't be on the inside middle because these guys are too big, too strong, and the dimensions too short and the ball too lively not to throw home runs.
So here's Morales, Kendrys Morales, who's had the big 3 homers, 7 RBI game in this series. He carries the 4th best average against left-handed pitchers in the American League, hitting at .352 against lefties, and he is 9 for 21 off Wade Miley. 1-0 delivery outside. Both ball clubs with great chances last night to score. Toronto went 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position. The Orioles went 0 for 11. So Toronto in the first 2 games 5 for 23 in these situations. 2-0 delivery. Morales is going for another dinger on that one. 2-1. Morales, as we've mentioned throughout the series here, really has struggled in these situations, and it has hurt Toronto scoring wise, batting just $198 with runners in scoring position, and more at bats than anyone else for Toronto in these situations. That's where Miley wanted it.
Yeah, and again, for a high average hitter, you can see he's chasing. You know, of course, the team came in at 220. They went up going 5 for 10 on Monday night. He had 3 home runs, single, 7 RBIs. But boy, he really helps out Miley, who's struggling with his command here in the first by swinging at a ball.
And he won't swing at that one. Going to be taken inside.
Well, again, you know, I don't want to be negative. This is just reality. Look at this. Most pitches per inning, lowest strike percentage, lowest percentage of pitches in the strike zone, highest opponent average on fastballs, because he keeps getting into these, you know, where I got to throw a strike counts.
3-2 delivery. Runners go. Ground ball down to third. Manny Machado. He's got a slow runner. He knows it. Takes his time and will record the out. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on base. An Orioles lineup coming up when we come back. Already, you can tell by the delightful dining that's going on right there. That hat on the right, by the way, I didn't recognize it. That's from Hawaii. There's a sea turtle on it, but it's an Orioles color. Orioles lineup brought to you by Southwest. Yes, the low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency. Beckham, Machado, Scope, Jones, Mancini, and Davis, Trumbo, Castillo, and Smith. Last 5 for Manny. 500.
Yeah, now face Marcus Stroman, who's been on a roll. So you can see we put the slider because, you know, again, 37 of his last 46 strikeouts have been with the slider. Of course, he throws 93 to 94, 2-seamer, 4-seamer, changeup, cutter. He's got them all. That's why he's 11-6. That 3.11's the third lowest ERA in the American League. Against the Orioles, 1 start, shut him out. They won 4-0. And again, he can pitch. Throws a lot of strikes, a lot of ground balls.
He's given up the 5th most hits in the American League, but he also is second most pronounced ground ball pitcher. So he ends up picking up a lot of double plays, and as a result he keeps his whip very much in order. Comes in with a 1.31 walks hits per innings pitched, 15th in the American League. Pitch will be taken up and in. Tim Beckham leading it off. Tim's got an 11-game hit streak. Took care of that first at bat in the ball game last night. He's gone 4 for 11 in the series. Continues just to pile up one hit streak after another. It's his 3rd career hitting streak of at least 10 games, and he's hit safely now in 28 of 30 since joining the Orioles at a .383 clip. Machado and then Scope due up here in the first inning. 1-1 delivery to him. Slider in the outside corner. He thought it was a little wide.
Yep.
Strike call, 1-2.
Well, that slider. He can cut it. You know, he's got them all, and change up. A little different wind up. You know, sometimes he's gonna. I mean, there it's almost like he's in a stretch, and I mean, look at it. He's got it all. He's doing.
1-2 away. Did he go? Yeah. Tony Randazzo down at first base takes him in a K.
So now 38 of his last 47 strikes on the slider. Again, I mean, this is what Tony's looking at. Yeah, that bat. You know, I mean, it's kind of borderline, but it's out there far enough. They just look at how far the bat travels.
So Stroman gets an out on a strikeout. He's now got 140 strikeouts in 170 innings. Here is Manny Machado. Manny's had a big series with a 6 for 10, and on the year a couple of home runs, 3 RBIs against the Jays, but only a .222 batting average. Till this set here in Baltimore, his numbers against Toronto pitching average wise had been low. Pitch will be taken inside for a ball. Orioles on this homestand so far, they are 4-1. This long homestand, they're averaging over 5.5 runs a game, hitting .330 as a team. The starters have gone 1-1. The bullpen has picked up 3 wins and 2 saves in the 5 games of this homestand. 1-1 delivery by Stroman is in. Now we'll go to 2-1. 26-year-old. He's going to make some money.
Has he ever? Former #1 draft choice out of Duke, grew up in Long Island. Dad was a detective, a rather large guy at Earl.
Yes, you showed me the picture of the family there.
Yes.
3-1 delivery on the way. A world-class weightlifter by the looks of the pitcher.
Well, again, he's got all kinds of deliveries, and you know, again, until you get to the set position. Again, you know, he's 35 and 22 in the big leagues. He wins games. The ERA a little bit over 3.5 runs a game with 3.65s. And he showed something 2 years ago when he blew out his knee and then made it back in time to pitch in the playoffs. Went 4-0 down the stretch. Won a couple of games in the postseason. In fact, the Jays have gone to the postseason the last 2 years.
He started the wild card game against the Orioles, non-decision, but he gave up only a couple of runs over 6 innings. And in the playoffs last year, he held opponents to a 171 batting average. 3-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way to Manny. Manny's going to get one into the glove. Barney. And we pick up defensively where we left off last night.
Well, it's a great at bat, and you know, bad result. Obviously, you know, you want to have good at bats. You'd like to have them also correspond with base hits, but they put guys out there, and you know, that's why it's important to be able to throw strikes, because sometimes you get lucky. You know, it happened to Miley. You know, you go back to the first inning. Well, you know, Pierce led off the game, missed a double by an inch, and then lined out similarly to the shortstop.
So here's Jonathan Scope, 2 down and nobody on. 5-game hit streak for Jonathan. Stroman will get a strike on the outside corner. Jonathan has gone 3 for 17 against the Toronto starter. Second career walk-off last night, 13th inning for him with a double and the RBI. The other walk-off he had was back in July of 2015. It was a walk-off home run that came against the Nationals. That is 47th multi-hit game the ball game last night. 1-1 count. 2 down. Right-handers 1-1. Another one tailing away, tip foul.
Yeah, take a look at the defense. Pierce, he's played the first 2 nights at first. He's in left. Pilar, Bautista, busy night on Monday, and on Thursday, and then Donaldson Goins, Barney Smoke back with the calf problem, and then Maley doing the catching. He came in last night. Seemed like he caught about 6 or 7 innings.
That'll go to shortstop. Goins up. Little rainbow throw over to Smoke, and a 1-2-3 inning recorded by Stroman. We'll go to the second inning. Wade Miley back out, scoreless ball game. About last night. Only 2 other 1-0 walk-off wins in the 13th inning or later in Orioles franchise history. Beat the White Sox 16 innings in 1959 and the Brewers 17 innings in 74. Jonathan Scope, the game winner, came to the plate with a 133 career average extra innings, 4 for 30. He got the game winner anyway. And Eric Nadel, Ranger announcer, made sure he let me know after the game we did not have the longest game last night. Their game went 4 hours and 33 minutes, 8.5 innings, the longest 8.5 inning game in Major League Baseball history. Texas against the Angels. Mike Scioscia used 9 pitchers in that ball game last night. So Eric Nadel, radio voice of the Rangers, said, I don't want to hear you moaning about the time of the game. So Eric, I didn't. Yeah. Hey, first one. Welcome. What a cutie.
Hampstead.
Yeah. Pitch will be taken down low. Kevin Pillar. Pillar with a 7-game hit streak. Big series here, 5 for 10. He's gone 8 for 21 lifetime off Wade Miley. 2-ball, 1-strike delivery. The lefty's pitch fouled away. Pillar against the Orioles, big year. With the series he's had here, he's up the average to 353 against the Orioles this year. Part of it with a 7-game hit streak that he continued last night. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch, reaching to the middle. Beckham. And got it there in time to record the out on a ball hit slowly to the middle.
Yeah, if he's trying to get to it and try to time it, and actually maybe going away a little bit to get to it. So he's going to range to his left. It's a long throw, but on the money. Nice stretch. Bang, bang at first. Well, right here, let's see. Yep. Nice play. It's nice to have somebody that's 6'3.5", 6'4". So from the outfield grass, on the money, or otherwise Pillar's got an infield hit.
Again, DeMarlo Hale is acting manager. Had this video people take a look at it, but no challenge. 1 down. Here's Barney. Another 0 for in the lineup. Bautista came in, as we told you, 0 for 16. He got a single. Barney's 0 for 15. He's had an 0 for 7 in this series, their second baseman. And he will take the pitch inside for a ball. Against Wade Miley, 5 hits in 20 at-bats.
And Wade trying to work on a little bit more efficient inning. 24 pitches to get out of that first inning.
For Wade on the year, 19.3 pitches per innings pitched. That is the highest in the American League. Corey Kluber, the fewest, at 14.5. So 19.3 for Wade, 14.5 for Kluber.
Yeah, Stroman's at 15.6. And ground balls, and even though Stroman does strike out a lot of people. Well, at the end of the day, normally, and this is the first year in Wade Miley's career that he's ever been really wild. Usually averages, 2.5. Now he's up over 5 walks per 9 innings.
Probably due to the fact he's trying to be a little finer.
Well, that's what he said early on. He said, I didn't like my ERA around 6 runs a game. There's Roger McDowell, first year as Oriole pitching coach, and sometimes it translates into just nibbling too much. And then it's and how many? I mean, he's probably thrown well over 1,500 pitches, or even close on 2,000. How many balls just a little bit low, or just a little bit inside?
At a 2-ball 2-strike count, Barney waiting on it, and that'll be taken down low. And this is what we talk about. He's had more 3-2 counts than maybe anyone in the history of the game this season. They've just repeated themselves over and over and over, and that's why that pitch count climbs up so rapidly. And oftentimes Wade will struggle to get through 5 innings, even though what's up on the board offensively by the opponent may be little or nothing. 3-2 delivery on the way, and that's a chopper to third. Big hop. And he guns it. Barney with some good speed, and there are 2 down.
Yeah, and that's what you alluded to earlier. Again, you can look at Toronto, 11 and 21. I mean, the batting average, Gary, the batting average is almost the same as the right-handers, but where they don't get as many at bats. But what happens is the home runs. Again, 1,009 coming in, 35 home runs, 3,555 at bats against right-hander starters, 138 home runs. So the slugging percentage down precipitously. And there is one left-hander in the lineup tonight. Goins.
He is 0 for 4 against Wade Miley.
And of course, he's been one of his hottest hitters.
Ground ball to second base. Jonathan Scope. He'll make the play over to first in a solid inning. 1-2-3. Miley sets him down. The Orioles. Adam Jones will lead it off. The game, Patrick Pandey from Glen Burnie. 500 for being selected, 500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play Home Run Richard Scratch House win up to 50,000 or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Go to mdlottery.com/home run. Pratik, good luck. Orioles have been mashing the long ball. Alec Asher and Donnie Hart were added to the roster today, and there they are in the bullpen with Alan Mills on the left, the bullpen coach. And Craig Gentry, with the laceration and fracture of the fingers, gone on the 10-day DL today. He'll have a further examination.
Yeah, big loss for the Orioles. The way he was playing gives you, base running skills, defensive skills, and offensive skills.
Adam Jones to lead it off. Adam will take that slider away. Adam has had good luck against Marcus Stroman, 6 for 18. Not necessarily luck. Adam hangs in on the right-hander. 1-0 delivery, and Stroman will come inside with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball on him.
Yeah, we were talking, about replacing players and have to be on the roster before August 31st. You might go get an outfielder, just unless you're going to bring up one of your young guys, just to have somebody else you can put in that can help you defensively.
Well, Buck said today, consideration, believe it or not, is Tim Beckham. If push came to shove, Beckham, the shortstop, has played some outfield, and he's somebody that Buck actually last night was thinking about in an emergency situation, and that's what it would have to be. And last night could have been one of those. Buck said Beckham is someone we were talking about in the dugout. If we have to, we'd move him out there. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Stroman with the delivery, and Adam will swing through some heat right there at 94.
Well, he's got, you saw the velocity at 94 up on the right-hand screen, but again, it's movement, right pretty much to the glove inside third. And again, in the back of your mind, maybe not 3-1, but here is that slider, and it's a devastating pitch.
3-2, and there's the slider tipped into the middle.
And it's not that he throws it; it's just where he throws it. Again, the quality of the pitch is a couple of things. What's the occasion? What's the break? Do you pick it up? It's perfect. I mean, if you look in the encyclopedia under low and away slider, you just saw it. Very tough to even hit.
So Stroman gets his second strikeout. Trey Mancini. Trey's had a 1 for 10 in the series, batting at .290. Stroman with a 1-0 mark against the Orioles this year. He is 3-3 lifetime. He had a real good outing back on June 28 in a 4-0 Toronto win. He gave up no runs, 5 hits in 7 2/3 innings, and pitched a career high 119 pitches in the game against the Orioles. And that slider, as Jim said, just devastating.
Well, you got one. I mean, it runs away from the righties. The two-seamer, which has tremendous movement and velocity, 93 to 94, runs in, and then he's got a changeup too. And look at the little wind-up stuff. He's got them all.
That's going to be a base hit into right field. Trey Mancini, the willingness to go the other way, has accounted for a number of Mancini's hits this year, his rookie season.
Well, he's not greedy. He's willing to take a single to right field because he also knows he can hit home runs that way, drive doubles that way. So again, for a rookie who's, again, anytime you play your first year in the big leagues, there are going to be peaks and valleys and whatever, and he's gone through them all. And it looks like, after a 2 for 25, once again, he's recharged the batteries.
Chris Davis, couple of hits, 9 at bats, including a home run in this series. Pitch will be taken away for a ball. Chris has gone 4 for 13 off Stroman. There's very little difference, lefty righties against Stroman. 267 the lefties, 264 the righties. Difference in the home runs. 14 have been hit by the right-handers. And the pitch turns the other way on Davis, away 1-1. There's the shift employed. StatCast powered by AWS. Goins, the shortstop, remains on the left side, but just barely. Outfield very deep. Stroman with a 1-1 delivery on the way. High strike will be called, 1-2.
Yeah, so low and away with 93 inside. He's got the cutter. He's kind of maybe a little harder throwing version of Greg Maddux. Now, I don't know if he's going to win 350 games and get to the Hall of Fame, but stuff wise, he can go in and out. He can do the X's, run the ball in, run it away.
Davis after one down and in.
And there's your slider. So again, you got three strikeouts now, all in this pitch. So again, since the All-Star break, and of course he's been on one of these rolls, last 12 starts, Stroman. for Severino, and then Kluber, Verlander, who just got traded, Gray. Now with the Yankees, ended up giving up 3 home runs, losing yesterday against the Red Sox for the Yanks.
Mark Trumbo carries a 3-game hit streak in. The DH for the Orioles. Runner at first base. Trey Mancini 2 down. Goes the other way down the line, curving and foul. Trumbo laying about on the ball that time. He has picked up 5 hits and 14 at bats against Stroman. That'll bring Mancini back to first base and Trumbo back to the plate.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember in some of our playoffs we'd have to beat Oakland back 72, 3 and 4 when they would win world championships, and it would always come down when you were facing maybe Catfish Hunter or, you know, Kenny Holtzman, Vita Blue or whatever. You're going, well, you know what? I don't know why we just can't get runs off them. Well, they have great stuff. They usually make good pitches.
Up the middle, hit him. Stroman is down. Stroman is down.
Yeah, right off the hip. At least hopefully. Nope, might have gotten the arm. I mean, it happened so fast. Boy, you hope he's all right. And again, 2 years ago, the knee injury came back from that. But you just don't have enough time. As that ball, I would imagine that ball's probably at 104, 105 miles per hour.
That is serious. Immediately went down on the ground. So DeMarlo Hale, the acting manager, and you can see the guys are just turning away. Players don't even want to look. It has been a year where, I don't know, maybe it's just it seems that way, but it does seem as though we have seen so many balls hit so hard that have hit pitchers.
Well, the velocity of the ball off the bat, because the ball is more lively. I mean, so again, you know, I'm sure there's the shock factor here too, getting hit in your pitcher's arm with something over 100 miles per hour. And I mean, everybody that's ever pitched, or even hitters, you know, Canigliaro, after he was being, he hit me in the leg with a line drive, it froze. So, you know, you hope he's all right. But this is a rocket back up the middle. You just can't get out of the way. You just don't have enough time.
Trumbo over there at first base. I can't believe that we're seeing him do this, and you hope maybe it was more shock than injury.
Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah. He's gripping, moving it around. You saw the trainer move the wrist. Now pressuring against it.
Well, the only reason you would be doing this if you think he's actually going to remain out there and pitch. Otherwise, you would take him off the field and you would go get ice and, you know, the X-ray or whatever. So, but again, it looks like it's right at the top of, you know, you got the extensors on the top of your arm, and where they're feeling right there, that's where people get tennis elbow, and then you got all the flexors underneath. That's where pitchers usually have their problems. And that's without getting hit with a 100-mile-per-hour line drive.
So talking to Pete Walker, the pitching coach, DeMarlo Hale, Stroman's going to have a word about this, and it starts to rain. Everything all at once. He wants to stay in the game. He wants to.
Well,
throw the
I
baseball.
can't imagine that's going to happen. You know, kind of tells you. We talked about the knee surgery where everybody said you're finished for the year, and he goes, no, I'm not. Came back. Yeah. Again, this may be where he wants to stay out there.
DeMarlo's got his hat and his glove. Won't give it back to him. Talking to Pete Walker. You see him put it behind his back.
Well,
Pete's going in, I think, to call the bullpen.
You know, and just kind of doing a little bit of notes on him, and you know, his dad taught him what height doesn't measure your heart, because he's always been a little guy that had to compete. So, you know, he probably doesn't want to leave. But this is, I mean, you got to use due prudence here, right here, and you don't want him hurt. He's the future of your pitching staff.
So Stroman on his way out, even though he wanted to stay. So here's what it looked like. Here's the replay, and see where it hit him.
You know, from that angle, and almost you were hoping it got him in the hip, even though you know that's going to hurt. but apparently right off the pitching arm, kind of hidden right there. Yeah, you can see him try to defend himself, and it gets him up on the elbow, just right at the joint. And again, you just don't have time.
Wow.
If you're lucky, you get out of the way or get your glove up. But again, your glove's on the other side of your body.
And then take a look, talking about the velocity of it. 107 miles an hour. So Marcus Stroman is out of the ball game. They will go to the bullpen, an emergency relief appearance, so as much time as needed. And Darmody will come on to do the pitching, with the Orioles having runners at first and second in the second inning with 2 down. Huge hope that there is no damage. Will only work an inning and 2/3. A couple of hits off him, responsible for the base runners who are on.
Well, Matt Dermody, we saw him come in last night. He came in. He's a left-handed specialist. So again, I would imagine because you kind of loaded it up. You got Seth Smith in there. You're going to try to match up. You bring in the lefty, and of course, good against lefties, not good against right-handers. 4-pitch pitcher, so with experience as a starter, so they'll bring him in. And boy, you really hate to see Marcus Stroman. He's been pitching so well. I mean, part of really being an independent race, you want to win, but you also want to do it where somebody doesn't get hurt. And of course, what a formidable foe. And of course, I mean, they kind of literally knock him out of the box, so hopefully he'll be fine.
Just looking last night, of course, you got a 13-inning ball game. Talking about the bullpens, the Orioles added 2 pitchers today. There were 6 pitchers who were used out of the bullpen by Toronto last night. They have added Luis Santos, a right-handed pitcher, a late roster add today. And as we said last night, who would have known first day rosters expanded that it would have been so important. And the way this game has started, at least for Toronto, the second day expanded rosters are going to matter.
Well, and especially, the Orioles haven't pitched well. They've actually stayed pretty healthy, so they've really had to go to their bullpen. I think only the White Sox with less innings from their starters. Toronto's what I think about 11th out of the 15 teams because of injuries. Sanchez has had the blister, early on, things like that. So again, you need extra pitchers, and we'll probably see a couple of them tonight.
Yep. And one of the things that happens that we've talked about before, now you had a lineup for the Orioles set to go against the right-hander, so you bring a left-hander in, and you're not going to change a lineup now because it's too early in the game.
No, and also Gentry with the lacerated and broken finger.
Yep.
He would be a guy, if you're going to change. He's been playing both against righties and lefties. You might do it, but he's on the 10-day disable list.
So the Orioles have runners on at first and second base, and now back to the game where the Orioles are going to try and take advantage of, obviously, the opportunity to get a run or 2 in here. There are 2 down. Castillo Left-hander's delivery to him will be taken up high for a ball. Last night, left-hander came on and did not get the job done. He faced only one batter and hit the batter. Was on in a situation where he was being asked to get one out and didn't get it done. 1-0 the count. Castillo will take a breaking ball, soft one that's going to be on the outside corner. Wellington has had a 1 for 5 in the series. You can see how heavy that mist is, literally blowing around the ballpark, and that was expected. And if it just stays this way, they'll play. 1-1. Lead runner at second, Trey Mancini. Pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, he's not a hard thrower, but he's got all the pitches. You know, coming through the minors the last 3-4 years, he's been more of a left-handed specialist. Started as a starter. Again, fastball, you know, maybe tops out at 93, changeup, slider, and of course 2 fastball, sinker, 4-seamer.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way inside. Maley going back in to get it. So Wellington Castillo gets a 2 ball, 2 strike count. Castillo's torn up the left-handers, hitting .380 and .269, or 269 against the right-handers.
Yeah, I mean, you bring in Dermody, and I mean, it only affects Seth Smith. Davis plays against everybody.
Dermody with a 2 ball, 2 strike count. Left-hander's delivery, tried to get it inside, did, no swing. And the count goes full, so the runners will be going. Mancini and Trumbo weren't holding Trumbo anyway at first base. Smoke playing well off the bag against the right-handed hitting Castillo. Wellington has done a great job in these situations this season for the Orioles. 333 runners in scoring position. Full count. Runners are off, and it's foul. Deep down the line, so they'll bring him back. Orioles have the big edge on Toronto in the year. They're 10-4. Orioles have gone 5-2 against the Toronto Blue Jays here at home. The Orioles have offensively just tacked it on against this ball club. They've outscored them 53-41 and out-homered them 19-12. 3 ball, 2 strike count coming again. Castillo waiting on it. Runners go in the air, right field. Bautista. And that will do it. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 are left on base. So Marcus Stroman, the starter for Toronto, out. First 20,000 fans 15 and over get the Orioles cap presented by DAP. Plus the kids 4 to 14 run the bases presented by Wise Markets. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Chris Tillman against Brett Anderson tomorrow.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
How about Maryland with their big win over Texas today.
by 10.
Beating a ranked ball club, but not handily, but really well.
Oh, 51-41. Yeah, a lot of points. Yeah, it's supposed to be nice. 79 degrees tomorrow.
And Monday's supposed to be a really good day. Rain is the forecast for tonight, so we'll just hope. Breeze has gone down to nothing. Luke Maile, the catcher, 0 for 2. Will take the pitch. 0 for 2 in the series. Getting back in action here, coming off the DL. With the expanded roster, returned from his medical rehab. Check swing, fouled off. He had a right knee problem. Kept him out of the lineup, so limited games for their good defensive catcher and some offensive pop as well.
Yeah, always been a catch and throw guy, and yeah, I don't think you want to catch and have a bad knee problem.
0-2 delivery. Maile coming inside.
A lot of crouching and.
Oriole left-hander, 1 ball, 2 strike count. Top of the order, Pierce waiting on deck. Maile will foul that one back and out of play. John Russell, Oriole bench coach, great catching coach. The youngster Cisco. They're gonna. It's a learning process while the game's going on. Even 1-2 delivery on the way. Tried to take something off that, but it slipped up. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wade with the most walks per 9 innings, 5.19, most in the American League. That'll be fouled away. And the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And pitch number 7 of this at bat.
You know, he's kind of a ground ball pitcher. I mean, 215 balls on the ground, 97 in the air, but he's not a sinker baller. And so therefore doesn't get a lot of easy outs. And again, when you go in on righties in this ballpark or any ballpark nowadays, you got to go in. So I mean, so it'd have to be right for the corner, and that's, I don't know, I found that very hard to do. Pitch right to the corners all the time.
3-2, and he got that in there, and Maile will get his second strikeout.
But you know, the amazing thing, coming into this game, he had 163 2 counts. And they're only hitting 160 when he gets to these counts, because, and this is why maybe the walks go up and he leads the major leagues in walks, is because he still throws the ball for the corner. Now look on the other side of the coin, he's only had 32 0-2 pitch counts, where, you know, you throw strike 1, strike 2. And he has, I thought, you know, he'd be around 800 batters. He's actually came into the game facing 629 batters.
Maile will get the pitch away. He's had 4 3-2 counts so far in this ball game. Steve Pearce, leadoff batter, lined out to short his first time up. Miley's been able to set down all 3 leadoff batters for the first 3 innings of the ball game. Pearce on the off-speed delivery got tied up on that one, froze on it, and a 2-ball 1-strike count.
Well, you got a great fastball hitter at the plate, and he's looking inside middle, and he missed by an inch, hitting a double the first time.
That one's going to be fouled off the other way. A little late on the 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Maile is retired, 65% of leadoff batters, so a little better than that early on here in this game. 2-ball, 2-strike count. And down to third, Manny Machado. 2 down, 3rd inning. Hey, you want a signed Zach Britton baseball? We'll check out Masson Orioles on Twitter to see how you can enter to win over the long weekend. Whatever your plans are for this holiday weekend, be sure to get a safe ride home. 2 away, nobody on. And Maile will face Donaldson, a strikeout victim. His first time to the plate. Donaldson now just a 1 for 8. And this the 3rd game of this 4-game set, and Orioles have held him to an under 200 batting average this year. In the 15th game they played against each other. He will take the pitch up high for a ball. Orioles against Toronto. They've played 3 extra inning ball games, and the Orioles have won them all. The Orioles have gone 3-1 in 1-run ball, 3-0 in 1-run games against them. Davis. And that'll be back into fair territory. 1, 2, 3 innings, 7 in a row. Set down by Wade Miley, no scoring. You take a look here for the Orioles. Help for the bullpen. As of September 1, Michael Givens tied for 4th in innings for American League relievers. Givens is one of 5 O's relievers who have thrown more than 50 this year, with Brock, Castro, Blyer, and O'Day in that category. And the Orioles bullpen outstanding in the month of August, 2.80. That was the 5th best ERA for a bullpen in the majors in August.
Well, it tells you how good those guys are, considering the lack of innings that the Orioles starters have provided. Second lowest in the American League.
So a little help with the call-ups, including Asher and Hart added to the bullpen tonight. Dermody, the left-hander, on the mound. Dylan Bundy with Roger McDowell.
Yeah, keeping the chart. It appears we're doing a crossword puzzle. Yeah, one of the two.
Smith lines it.
Yeah.
Great catch made by Barney again. Barney's had 2 shots that have entered the leather.
Nice pitch, Matt. That's what we used to always yell when one of our guys would throw one of these. I mean, another BB. So the matchup, maybe this is why the numbers are low. You know, Germany living in the right track right there. That ball hit hard, but right at him. 3 balls by both clubs tonight, right on the money.
1 down, 3rd inning. Beckham a strikeout victim. His first time up. Pretty much straight up D against the Orioles shortstop, and the pitch will be taken inside for a ball. Beckham against the lefties, 275 on the year, 303 against the right-handers. Already out of that set position, and Beckham on a foul tip into the mitt.
Again, most balls put in play. Manny, and we'll see Gregorius when the Yankees come in. Tim on that list. Andrews, Ciarte down with Atlanta, and then Whit Merrifield with the Kansas City Royals.
Good catch on the outside corner by the left-hander, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. With the 11-game hit streak that Beckham has going now, it's the 2nd streak of at least 11 games since joining the Orioles. He had a 12-game hit streak earlier. That one is going to be bounced off the plate at 85.
Yeah, Darmany, as we mentioned, he got 1 start in the minors. The rest of the time used out of the bullpen. Most he's pitched up here is 2 innings. And we'll see how long he stays in there. I suppose, you know, pitch count and how effective he is.
27-year-old out of Iowa, down to 3rd and foul. Pete Walker will have a lot to say about this tonight with John Gibbons, the manager, away for personal reasons. Walker, the pitching coach, will be heavily leaned on, of course, by DeMarlo Hale, the acting manager tonight. DeMarlo, the bench coach, so he'll take all the help he can get over there. And Pete will make a lot of the decisions regarding who to go with pitching-wise. There could be a few of those, with Stroman coming out in the 2nd inning after taking the line drive to his arm. That pitch is going to be up and in. So a 3-ball 2-strike count with 1 down. Beckham at the plate with Manny Machado waiting on deck. Orioles with a victory in the ball game last night, improving their record at home to 42 and 27 on the year. Full count pitch, that'll be grounded to 3rd. Ooh, Donaldson. Nice little howdy doody right there on a ball right along the ground.
Well, Josh came up in the high draft choice for the Cubs. He was a catcher. He was traded out to Oakland where he learned to play 3rd base, ranging far to his left.
Here's Manny Machado. Manny with 2 down, nobody on, lined out to Barney his first time up. Manny's having a great second half of the season since the All-Star break, hitting .345. 48th game since the break. He's had his 4th 4-hit ball game last night. 4th of the year. Left-hander's delivery to him will be up and in.
Yeah, I'm sure Matt Dermody's saying, where can I go? Keep the ball in the ballpark. 17 pitches, 8 for balls, 9 for strikes. So he's not overpowering. He does have to nibble, stay out of the middle of the plate somehow.
Gets the outside corner strike. 1-1. Manny hitting 277 off the lefties. 272 off righties. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Machado to center. Pilar. 1-2-3 inning with a little help from the D. So he's retired all 4 since coming out of the bullpen. By the all-wheel drive RAV4 Toyota. What drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. RAV4 right downstairs on the plaza level if you're here at the ballpark. Young man fully ready for the ball game, as are these fans. No score. Top of the 4th inning as we begin this ball game the way we began the 1-0 13 inning affair last night. Wade Miley, a walk and 2 strikeouts.
Did they have like a rain poncho? Is that, I know in the past they've been giveaways. I don't know if they had one this year.
I would assume that because I see so many people wearing them.
Maybe they're sold here at Camden Yards.
Here's Justin Smoke. He drew a walk his first time up. Takes the off-speed breaking ball away. Smoke, Bautista, and Morales. Orioles have 2 hits. The Jays have 1. Each team has left 2 on base. Each team has had a runner in scoring position. And the pitch taken inside for a ball. Jays come in 62-73. The Orioles 3 games above 500, 69 and 66. Missed inside, 3-0.
Well, again, the home runs, 36 of them, 7 from this side and 29 the other side. But how about the batting average at 374? Hitting right-handed. Another former #1 draft choice.
Taking
your outside
all the way.
corner. Yeah. I think ideally, most lefties that I pitched, whether it was McGregor or Flanagan, McNally, they could throw that low and away fastball, get you looking there, and then boom, inside.
That's like what he did there. Smoke taking the pitch for a strike.
But once again, 3-2.
Yep. Number 5.
Well, it just takes a lot of pitches,
and the 3-2 delivery, and Smoke goes down.
I mean, you again, to have a 160 batting average when you get to 3-2 tells you, it's not like Wade's trying to do this. I mean, you got to have some tenacity. Keep doing this and keep throwing strikes, quality strikes right there. So he thinks it's going to be a strike, a little bit out of the strike zone, gets fooled.
And Bautista, base hit his first time up, ending an 0 for 16. Always draws the reaction of the Oriole crowd in the same way Manny draws the same reaction in Toronto for the little tay-to-tays that have gone on over the last 2 or 3 years with Bautista and some of the Orioles. And Bautista will foul that one back into the seats.
Well, you talked about the left-handed numbers. I mean, for Jose, this will be his 113 at bat, and coming in he was only hitting 180. Went up a little bit with a base hit.
Inside, just missed.
And then only 3 home runs. 3 home runs and 113 at bats.
One would believe, watching the end of a really outstanding career. Bautista, 1-2 pitch on the ways up. Seemingly there is no chance Toronto is going to pick up a very heavy option year next year on Bautista. 2 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. Down to third and just foul. That's the second ball hit by a Toronto Blue Jay that is just missed. Our Coons.com league leaderboard. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. Still see more pitches.
Well, he does. He just hasn't walked quite as much. And again, as you get older, bat speed comes down, so you got to get it going. Mauer just is very disciplined.
2-2 to the middle. Beckham, plenty of time, and gets the out. 2 down, 4th inning, scoreless ball game. The postseason push underway. Not a season plan member? Place a deposit now for 2018 season plans and early postseason priority. Deposits start as low as $250. Earn postseason access before the general public. The deposits must be made by Monday, September 25. Go to Orioles.com/postseason for details. Folks under cover up on the rooftop balcony area, with the rain coming down a little harder. Here's Morales, who grounded out his first time up. Yankees beat Boston 5-1 today. Houston went back home, had a big win in Houston in their ball game this afternoon, bringing a little some sort of normalcy as best you can back to Houston. 2-0 count. Shift on. Morales grounded out to third, his first time up. 9 for 22 off Wade Miley. Puts it high in the air, and the raindrops. Right center field power alley. Smith finds it and will put it away, and not necessarily easy to do with the rain coming down. 1-2-3 inning again. College brings it to us. It was in '86. The Astros and Cubs, a record 53 players used in a game. Billy Hatcher of Houston had a home run off Greg Maddux in the top of the 18th. Houston won it 8-7 at Wrigley. And in '99, Cal became the 29th major league player on this date to hit his 400th career home run, all on September 2.
Yeah, that was Greg Maddox's first year. Ended up 2-4. Next year, 6-14. Ended up winning 355 games, 227 losses. Matter of fact, going into Buck Showalter's office, saw one of those yellow stickies, had Billy Connor's name on it. A longtime friend. He taught Maddux the changeup. Terrific pitching coach.
Great pitching coach. Yeah. Fouled away. Jonathan Scope at the plate here in this 0-0 ball game. The Orioles, 2 hits came in the second inning. Mancini and Trumbo There's the newest addition to the Toronto team added today, Luis Santos, right-hander, called up from the Buffalo Bisons.
Yeah, last night it was Carlos Ramirez for 2 innings in his major league debut. Pitched very well.
0-1 count. Dermody, the left-hander, delivers in the air to center field, not deep. Charge. Pilar coming, sliding, and makes the catch.
Plays very deep. And when you play very deep, it's easier to get jumps. No drop step. And it gets jammed right here up in the fist. So Dermody's done a nice job. Right there. Because they've seen Pilar play. Usually up there in all the leaders of defensive runs saved. And again tonight with the mist and
clearly we should have a StatCast on sliding. What's going on? Where are the important numbers? How far did he slide when he went on the grass?
That's right. Was it because of the wet turf or the fact that he was traveling at a velocity?
What was his velocity coming in? I mean, these things got to be covered.
Well, we'll get to that by next year, opening day.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're probably right. Here's Adam Jones, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Yeah. Broadcaster velocity coming into the ballpark is about 5 miles an hour. The broadcast velocity exiting the ballpark is about 110.
So he ran 92 feet for that, just in case you cared to know.
92 feet. Thank you very much.
That's a little over 30 yards.
Thank you. There's a base hit. Knocked down. Barney, the throw. Not going to get him, and an infield single for Adam Jones.
Well, Darwin's all over the place tonight. So is Adam Jones. Here we are. I mean, look at this. Again, a little bit wetter because of the dampness. Nice play. And he skidded at least 5.5 feet, and Adam beats it out.
So Adams on with the single with 1 down. 4th inning. Orioles get their 3rd hit.
That's right. The probability on that being a base hit was probably about 87%. And because of the slide factor that was about 8 feet, maybe 4 inches, we had a close play.
Ball hit in the air to center field. First pitch to Trey Mancini. Pilar much easier this time, and there are 2 down.
See, I mean, you can talk like this, and people are going to actually think that it means something.
Apparently.
And it doesn't.
And it doesn't mean a thing.
Did you make the play or not? Did you get a good jump or not? When you're pitching, when you turn around and the guy's already moving, he got a good jump.
Yeah. And I always ask, would you rather have the 119-mile-an-hour line drive to right field for an out, or the 42-mile-an-hour bloop that falls in, you get a base hit? I mean,
well, I think, I will say this: if you throw enough 119-mile-per-hour line drives to right, you're usually not pitching very long. But I think what. And I saw Bruce Mano, and Bruce was in the Oriole organization, and when he went to the Cardinals, they actually did some of their scouting, because when you're signing somebody, you do want to know if the guy was lucky or not and whatever. So they try to factor those things in, which does make a little bit of sense to me.
Yeah, the probabilities increase with some of those numbers. What a bouncer that was. Stayed in front of it, though. Nearly able to run it down the 3rd baseline, and Adam Jones will stay at first base. So the Orioles 2 down and a runner on at first. Chris Davis, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Dermody trying to get out of the inning, not surrendering anything. Went to the University of Iowa and actually finished there. He got a degree there because he was drafted 3 times and wouldn't sign. So instead of signing, he went back, played more baseball in Iowa, and then finally signed a contract. And then they found out he had a bad elbow, and the Diamondbacks refused to offer him a deal. So Toronto came along in 2013, and he was selected in the 28th round by the Jays.
Well, I guess we said he came in. Lefties were only 3 for 20. Hit Chris in the back when he came in last night.
2-1 delivery and a foul ball. Chris not real happy, as that one he was trying to hold up on. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in our ball game tonight, brought to you by Miller Lite. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Missed his let up again. And Chris Davis will stand back in as Adam Jones goes back to first. Barney playing particularly deep in right field. Got to give yourself a little more traction. He's kind of out there where Jonathan Scope has played against the left-handers. Maile sets up, down and away, and the 2-2 delivery is there and foul back. If you did join us late, Marcus Stroman was hit by a 107-mile-an-hour line drive off the bat of Trumbo in the second inning, and had to come out of the ball game. Hit him right on the arm, but he did get up and looked as though he had strength in the arm and hand. But he wanted to go on to pitch. DeMarlo Hale, the acting manager, said no, so they will bullpen their way through the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to pitch when they take away your hat and your glove, because they knew he wanted to stay out there.
So the Orioles got a 3-ball 2-strike count. First baseman Smoke behind the runner. Adam Jones off, and a swing and a miss. Second strikeout recorded against Davis. No runs, 1 hit, and a base runner left on. We're scoreless.
Well, the best offensive team in the Orioles minor league obviously is Bowie, and of course DJ Stewart, former #1 draft choice 2015, part of it. So again, I mean, there are the numbers. I mean, collectively over the year, pretty good year. 280, 19 home runs, 76 RBIs. On base percentage on the whole year is almost 380. And the other thing is he's a big guy. He's like 6 feet 230. 19 stolen bases out of 23 opportunities. So coming along as a #1 draft choice, what you like to see.
Wade Miley back to work. Scoreless ball game. 3 hits the Orioles. 1 hit for Toronto. And a big swing put on it by Pilar, who grounded out his first time up. Bautista got an infield single in the first inning. 10 in a row have been retired by Wade Miley. Coming into the 5th inning. Pilar, Barney going, Stu up 6, 7, 8 in the order. And Pilar again with a big cut will foul that one away.
So that's back-to-back low and away fastballs. It's a little bit out of the comfort zone, but nicely executed.
Miley moving it along, throwing strikes, has set a good rhythm. 0-2 delivery on the way, got it in, and back goes Mancini to the wall, and goodbye, home run. So the big swings pay off. He got just enough to reach it in the left field stands, and Kevin Pilar in his 14th makes it a 1-0 ball game.
Yeah, and I wonder if Trey hitting the wall. There's not a lot of give in the wall. He did not get the ball in where he wanted to, and I'm wondering if Trey might have again hurt the hip. So again, 0-2, you want to get in. We talked about this earlier, and this is what he's going to try to get there, and then boom. And you know, those walls are supported, and again, ball just gets out of here. Just couldn't get there in time. So 0-2.
Ran that knee right into the wall. Stays out, doing a little jogging out there in left field. So Pilar with the dinger, 1-0, and the ball bounced. 20th home run surrendered by Wade Miley, and 19 of them have been hit by right-handers. And Trey still trying to walk that off and grimacing a bit. Barney grounded out his first time up. 1-1 delivery to him. Pilar gets his second home run against the Orioles this year and his first against Miley, but he is now 9 for 23 lifetime off Wade. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And trying to cut that inside corner, misses. 2-2. Miley's 2-2 pitch. Hacked at, missed, maybe tagged up. And Miley gets strikeout number 4. Barney the victim. 1 away here in the 5th inning.
Now gets ahead of Pilar. Doesn't make a good pitch. Right here he does. Curveball bounces. Nice block by Wellington Castillo. Tags him. I think Darwin trying to sell. Maybe I foul tipped that. I'm not going to get the call.
That'll bring Goings to the plate. Grounded out first time up. Had the hot bat coming into this series. Fouls that one away. Had an 0-for and a hit streak ball game last night. He has reached base 12 consecutive games and a strong .317 batting average over those dozen ball games. That one is going to miss down low, lefty on lefty. And Santos has been up twice now, so he may be coming on to pitch. As Dermody worked 2 1/3 innings, gave up only 1 hit. 1-1 delivery on the way. Had one to hit right there and couldn't barrel it up. Foul back. 1-2. Goins trying to slow Miley down a little bit. Got 1 foot out of the batter's box. 1-2 delivery, and it's again a foul ball over by the Orioles dugout. Orioles improved their record to 31-23 against the Eastern Division teams. Buck Showalter's team has been outstanding in division play this season. Their 31 wins, tied with Boston for wins in the division. The Yankees picked up their 31st today. 1-2. Kevin Gausman, 6 strong innings against Toronto last night. 1-2 delivery. That'll be outside. 2-2 and another 7 pitch at bat at least for Goins. Two right back there and got him.
Yeah, quality of the pitches, with the exception of Pilar, much better tonight. Chris Wade, 3-1 in August. So again, right on the corner, throws it there. Perfectly thrown, executed on the corner.
So Wade Miley's got 5 strikeouts to 1 walk. 2 down here, a run in on the Pilar home run. Luke Maile at the plate. Number 9 hitter will go to center field. Adam Jones has it lined up and puts it away. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. Pilar the homer. 1-0 Jays. on. This one from Sports Illustrated. The other perspective on the Orioles, their starting pitching is among the league's worst, but the Baltimore Orioles are using their bats and their bullpen to make an unlikely charge towards the second American League wild card spot. They may be on the verge of supplanting the Yankees in a wild card spot by the time the Yankees come to town for 3 starting Monday. That's no small comeback for a team that stood 7 games under 500 a month and a half ago.
Well, the cavalry charge of offense, and the pitching's gotten a little bit better. Bullpen's gotten healthy, and now they got to figure out a way to, as Luis Santos' major league debut, those are the numbers. You know, again, I mean, you know, look at the record. I mean, it was not very good. He was 3-12 at AAA Buffalo, ERA at 4.32, 91 hits, 98 strikeouts, 108 innings. So again, and I have no idea what he throws. We're going to see that, and I would imagine he has a pretty good arm, and it looks like he throws strikes. So we saw Carlos Ramirez last night in his major league debut. He had not given up a run in AA or AAA all year long in 40 innings. So this is not the case here.
Or the majors now.
No.
You didn't give anything up last night.
No, he didn't. He was perfect.
So Santos just called up, added literally prior to the ball game. How fortuitous. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. Trumbo, the base hit that hit Stroman in the arm and drove the Toronto starter out of the ball game in the second inning. This will be the 60th player used this season by the Blue Jays. Foul back.
Yeah, and I would imagine, I mean, you know, with all the due diligence they do in scouting and your pro scouts, you know, I mean, all teams usually have pro scouts that see players. They would certainly have a scouting report on Luis Santos.
Pete Walker watching intently, and
Brooke Jacoby, the hitting instructor, saying, well, let's see.
Foul back on a pitch up and away.
Well, in fact, you know, Carlos Ramirez, Pete Walker was saying we were hoping, because we knew we were going to bring him up in September, he'd give up a run. We didn't want him to do it here, and he didn't. And for a converted infielder, really did a nice job. And now he's working on the splitter down in the bullpen.
0-2 the count. Trumbo, Castillo, and Smith, scoreless game. 5th inning. Wow, threw that one out and away, and Trumbo can't reach it.
Now there you go. First major league strikeout. Happens to be Mark Trumbo. Great breaking ball. Yeah, the low and away slider. You can see how far. You just don't pick up the spin. You can't time it. Can't track it.
Santos with a pretty interesting follow through on most of the pitches here thrown to Trumbo. Got a lot of secondary action going on, twisting around out there. And the pitch will be taken away for a ball. Castillo slide out to right field. Wellington Castillo with the 1 for 6 in the 3 games played. Great job done by Dermody, the reliever. 2 1/3, no runs, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. 1-0 delivery on the way. And a couple of games so far, back-to-back, dominated by pitching at 13 innings to get a run last night. Neither team got a hit with a runner in scoring position since the game winner came with Machado at first, who scored on the double by Jonathan Scope. And here tonight, each team has had 1 runner in scoring position in the game, and that was at second base. Nobody's reached third for either team yet. 3-0. Pilar with a home run is the one that crossed the plate, and that is their 1-0 lead. Here's the 3-0 pitch on the way. That'll be in there for a strike. Santos coming in expecting Castillo to take, and he did. The home run by Pilar. Home runs in this series on the year, 19 for the Orioles and 13 for Toronto. 3-1 delivery. In the air, center. Pilar. 2 down. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. With Jim Palmer, I'm Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us on this holiday weekend that looks to be a little better weather-wise coming up tomorrow. Orioles will finish it off with an afternoon game. 2 consecutive day games coming up tomorrow. 1 o'clock goes extra. 1:30 for the ball game. Chris Tillman 1-7. Brett Anderson, another left-hander, 2-3. And the Yankees will be coming to town for the Monday 2 o'clock game, Labor Day. 2 down. Here's Seth Smith. Pitch is in there for a strike. He lined out hard to Barney at second in his only at bat.
Yeah, so you look at the guys like Santos, you bring them up, you have your mainstays out there, but he was a strike thrower in the minor leagues. Forget what the numbers show. He didn't walk a whole lot of guys. One every 3.5, 4 innings. So you bring him to a newer environment, and he looks like in a 1-0 game, he's going to challenge people or use all his pitches. 26, so he's been around.
He telegraphs his changeup. If that's the motion he uses on him. That was far different than when he was throwing something bigger. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And that one ripped down the line. That will be foul. Takes a bounce into the seats. And the count will go to 1-2 on Seth.
Well, he may find, though, what happens, Gary, as you know, if you come out and watch batting practice, they know what's coming. Guys are hitting line drives at people, popping it up. So if you're willing to throw enough strikes, sometimes over a short period of time, you can have some success. Because you're not afraid to pitch to contact, in spite of what can happen.
1-2 delivery on the way, and a tapper. Can he field?
Nope.
Nope. Throw not in time, and that'll be an infield hit picked up by Smith.
Well, you commented on the follow through. Well, if you don't have that follow through, you'll be able to catch this. So I'm going to go left now. I'm way over there. I mean, it's a routine ground ball. It's not easy because he took 3 strides to his left, and then he had to try to catch the short hop backhand. But for most young pitchers, a lot of times, you would think they try to teach that. I mean, I still, the best I ever saw was Jim Cott, 16 straight Gold Gloves. I mean, he was almost like a middle linebacker. He'd throw it, he'd go, come on, try to hit it back up the middle. And you couldn't.
So an error charged.
Really?
Yeah.
No, that's a base hit. Never touched the ball.
Here is Beckham, and breaking ball down and away will be foul tip. So at least for the moment, Smith is on an error with 2 down.
It really doesn't matter. I mean, it matters to Seth because it's a batting average, but he wasn't in position to catch that ball. So what if it was hit? Yeah. Again, I mean, the hit probability on that ball was probably in the 5 percentile, but when you fall off like that, it probably went up dramatically.
So many factors.
In fact, the hit probability was 0 because they gave him an error.
Oh, 1 delivery on the way. And that'll be taken down low.
It's the rain. The rain is doing this to
The rain is doing this to you?
It's the dampness.
This kind of damp weather bothers you?
Yeah.
It's a good thing, though. It's a good thing. It's kind of like truth serum.
No, it's a 14% hit probability, which is higher than I thought because, usually you don't have a chance when they give you an error on a ball that should have been a hit.
I mean, 14%, you'd figure that's got to be a base hit.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Throw over. Seth Smith, couple of stolen bases on the season. Getting a look, the throw over there. 2 for 2. Beckham has struck out and grounded out. 4 hits, 13 at bats in the 3 games against Toronto. 1-1. Came back inside. Tough night to do any running with the moisture in the air that has settled down on the dirt portion of the infield, as they would say. This is a mudder's track for runners tonight.
Well, the Orioles had only attempted 40 steals, but the other factor comes in. Can you score on a double? Like that's how the Orioles won it. Manny scoring from first on a double by Scope in the 13th.
1-2. Runner not going anywhere. Beckham puts it in the air, left center field. It stays up. And Pierce gets over to haul it in. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. 1-0 Toronto. and president of the Catholic Relief Services. Native of Ellicott City, has lived around the world helping those in need on behalf of the Catholic Relief Organization, some of the largest humanitarian agencies in the United States. Catholic Relief is one of those, touches the lives of millions of people around the world and in this country. We thank Sean, all those Catholic Relief Services persons who have committed to providing for people around the world. Sean Callahan. And the young man behind him, who certainly looks like it was one of his kids, was having a great time mimicking the script. And the pitch will be taken down low. Wade Miley, great job. Pilar with a home run has made it a 1-0 game, but he has walked only one, has struck out 5. Blue Jays have only 2 hits in the ball game, the homer and a single by Bautista of the infield variety back in the first inning.
Well, you can see 86 pitches, averages 19. That's down a little bit, even though he threw 24 in the first inning. And once again, the ability to hit that outside corner, which has been a problem. I mean, really, it was an 0-2 pitch Pilar hit. Tried to get in, didn't get it in. Got about, what, 4 feet over the wall and left.
Pitch will be taken down low. Wade continuing what has been a very strong run. He has not surrendered more than 3 earned runs in a start since July 25. A great month of August for him. 3-1 delivery, and that will be a walk, and the ever dangerous leadoff variety to Steve Pearce. After tomorrow's home game versus the Jays, time for the kids to run the bases, presented by Wise Markets. Live their big league dreams out on the field. 4 to 14. You run the bases here at Oriole Park like your favorite birds. For ticket, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD.
Yeah, it's your 3rd time through the order, and of course, if you're Buck Showalter or Roger McDowell, it's always a tough call on Wade. Is he getting tired, or is he getting wild, or is he wild and not tired?
Yep. They'll get a throw over to keep Pearce close. Donaldson up 0 for 2, a strikeout pop out. Not a good night for pitchers so far. Chris Archer, Tampa Bay, had to come out of the ball game. Threw 8 pitches, back-to-back home runs against the White Sox. Didn't get an out, and they took him out.
Really?
Clear exactly what the problem was. In the air to left center field. That is going to be a base hit. Runner will make a turn and stay. Good work by Mancini. Had he not gotten it in a hurry, Pearce was on his way to 3rd. Donaldson a single, 2 on.
Well, you see, I mean, that's what Steve Pearce does. He comes flying around second, because if you do bobble it, he's going to get to 3rd. Plays right in front of you. And, again, now you've got to throw a strike. You just walked Pearce. Donaldson's waiting. Take a look right here. Now this. So again, right here, he's thinking about it. It's almost like he wanted to bait him to throw behind him. Well, probably would have kept going. But.
So 2 on and nobody out. And Smoke, a walk and a strikeout. Chase one tailing away from him that time. Smoke has hit .284 with runners in scoring position this season. Part of the reason he's got those 84 RBIs, and of course the big 36 home runs for Smoke. Came into the ball game the day tied for 4th in home runs in the league. Another pitch, same one, same result.
Well,
Smoke is 8th in RBIs as well.
Yeah, Richard Rodriguez, a recent call up when they expand the rosters, up throwing for the Orioles. Those are about as good a curveballs as you can throw. So if you're thinking of throwing another one, it better be as good or better.
Kept it outside. Manny. No play anywhere. Can't handle it cleanly, and the bases are loaded. A walk and 2 singles.
So 3 straight curveballs, and it was good. And then you get unlucky. Or if you're Justin Smoke, you think, I'm lucky. Right there, perfect curveball. Manny gets deked. And I guess on the wet turf, I think as good a fielder as Miley is, if he catches this, he's going to slip and slide. And then Manny can't get a handle on it.
Roger McDowell will head out to the mound with Bautista coming up with the sacks full. 4 hits now for the Jays, 2 of them back to back here in the 5th inning. Making sure and what they're going to throw to Bautista, who is 0 for 8 with the bases loaded this season. He got an infield hit first inning, the first Toronto hit of the ball game. That broken 0 for 16. Orioles have held him down to under the Mendoza line this year. Came in hitting only 196 against the Orioles, 2 home runs. He has never had a big average here in this ballpark. 206 at Camden Yards. He has hit 14 home runs here, though. So he's got Pierce, Donaldson, and Smoke on. Nobody out. Going after the first one, a strike.
Yeah, you'd love to get 2 quick strikes, and then that's when you start thinking of possibility of a strikeout. I still think in a 1-0 ball game, you'd love to get a double play ball here. Keep it, even if they get another run, keep it at a minimum.
Bautista will foul that one back, and that's the one he'd like to get again.
And the other thing we've seen with Wade Miley is that his average fastball is around 91, maybe a tick over that, but he can get to 94. So we'll see if he gets a little extra here.
Bautista will take it, a breaking ball inside.
Yeah,
Good
nice
pitch.
Yeah, nice block by Wellington Castillo.
Tony Randazzo down there with the no swing.
Ball out in front of home plate, able to keep it in front of him.
Sacks full, 1-0. Jays on top. Bautista 1-2 delivery, and he went. Home plate umpire will get him, and no argument on that one.
So the curveball threw 3 great ones to Smoke. Take a look right here. You're looking for a strikeout, especially after you do this. Strike 1, big swing, another big swing. Tries to strike him out with a curveball. Nice block. Comes back with it. Can't hold up. Bases loaded, 1 out. This is what the umpires are looking at. You can see the bat well out for the strikeout.
Morales, who's done big damage in this series. 1 game with the 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. He has flied out, grounded out. 1 down, infield, of course, hoping for a ground ball, and comes in at 92 for a strike.
Yeah, he's looking to get something in the air, get another run in without getting a base hit.
3 for 13 with the bases loaded this year. One of those 4 career grand slams picked up this season by Kendrys Morales. Puts that one up in the air to right field. There'll be a tag up at third by Pierce. Handled by Smith. Runner going to third. Throw to the cutoff man and a run in. So Morales will pick up the RBI on the sac fly and make it a 2-0 Toronto lead. Donaldson goes to third.
Yeah, the bat control from the right side of the plate, 352 hitter, allows him to get one in the air, and they do double up the runs scored tonight. 2-0 now.
Now 2 down, runners on at first and third, and Pilar, who's got the home run as well as grounding out, will come to the plate. Kevin Pilar picking up his 2nd RBI against the Orioles on the season with that homer. Donaldson over at third. Justin Smoke on at first base. Run in here in the 6th. Pilar now has an 8-game hit streak. In the air again to right. Smith. And Miley works out of it, surrendering only 1 run. 1 run on a couple of hits, no errors, 2 left on base, 2-0 Toronto.
Our Geico game highlights. Marcus Stroman, 2-out Trumbo in the second inning, line drive. And again, hopefully he'll be all right. Looking for win number 12, has to lead the game. And then a 0-0 ball game. 2-strike pitch. Pilar with his 14th home run makes it 1-0. They had another run in the 6th on a sacrifice fly by Morales. Those are your Geico highlights. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit Geico.com to see how much you could save.
Holiday weekend here in Baltimore. All kinds of rain throughout the day and a little here tonight, but right now, pleasant evening. Except for the score for the Orioles. Here's Manny Machado.
Runs are becoming a little bit more difficult. Even in the loss on Thursday night, they put 8 on the board.
Manny on a big count on a breaking ball. Manny is lined out hard to second, flied out. 6 hits, 12 at bats in the 3 games. Caleb Joseph back up catching, getting the leather ready to perform. Oh, 1 delivery on the way, and that's going to be outside for a ball. So first good news on Marcus Stroman. Elbow contusion, elbow x-rays negative.
Yeah, that's great to hear.
Yep. 1-1 delivery on the way, and that will be in there for a strike from Santos. Scope and Jones due up for the Orioles. One-two delivery on the way, and a grounder off the end of the bat to short. It's going to be a tough throw. Goins guns it, and we'll get him.
Yeah, we've seen him all series. That's what he does. You know, very agile, very quick, gets to the ball quickly. You got to know your routes, got to know who's running. Haven't seen him have to make a throw with a lot on it, but again, you know, when you have this kind of dexterity and accuracy, you don't need to.
Tulowitzki out. Goins getting a lot of playing time. Barney getting the playing time at second base. Devin Travis was having an outstanding year out. Here's Jonathan Scope. He is flied out, grounded out. Pilar made a nice sliding catch on him the last time up in center field, and Jonathan will take the pitch up high for a ball. Here at home this year, Scope averaging .309. 17 of his home runs, 61 of his RBIs have been at home this year. As a result, average wise at least, Jonathan coming in .309 here at Camden Yards, the 7th best home average in the American League. 1 ball, 1 strike count. That'll be fouled off outside of third.
Well, you can see Luis Santos, not your prototypical, you know, 26-year-old guy that, you know, not going to light up the radar gun, but he's making some nice pitches with his breaking ball. Curveball and slider. Tim Meza, one of the 3 lefties that Germany's already pitched. Aaron Loop out there, who was the pitcher of record in the loss last night in the 13th.
1-2 delivery on the way, and throttled way back on that and gets a strikeout. And Jonathan looks out. What was that?
Well, that was the hook. And it's, you know, the slider's 83, takes a little bit off, perfectly thrown. You've never seen him before. I don't know if you can, again, they made some quality pitches tonight. And kind of expect that from Marcus Stroman because he's Marcus Stroman.
And we should not let go. Jimmy Yacabonis got his first major league win last night in the 1-0 ball game. We congratulate him. Always a very big night. Part of the bullpen crew for the Orioles last night. Pitch taken inside. He worked an inning, gave up just 1 walk in the top of the 13th. And Yacabonis on the left with a W in his major league win column. 2 down here, nobody on. Adam Jones, a base hit, and he is struck out. He'll ask for the timeout and get it.
Well, but I mean, Maile doesn't have a lot of time in the big leagues, but he certainly has more time than Luis Santos, so they're trying to get on the same page. And trust me,
1-0 delivery down to third. That will be foul. I wonder whether or not Maley on rehab games may have actually worked with Santos.
Probably did, yeah.
Because Maley, he had 5 games, Dunedin, and then 4 games with the Buffalo Bisons, and that's where Santos was pitching prior to the call up today. So they may have worked together. Certainly got the chance to chat at least. 1-1 delivery on the way, and another breaking ball that comes in and catches the plate. 1-2.
And he's also got me, he varies his wind up, holds it a little bit. And again, the quality of the breaking ball has been real good for the Orioles. Get a guy on. I mean, that's where it starts when you're 2 runs down, whether you're in the 6th or later on. And then the little quick pitch.
That'll go for an outfield base hit that time. Little dying quail for Adam. He's got his 2nd hit, and he's on with 2 down.
Yeah, and Adam's saying, yeah, you want to try to do that to me?
Take a look at our Heritage Automotive road ahead. Heritage Automotive offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit them online, or in store at heritagedealers.com. So the Jays wrap up the series tomorrow. The Yankees in for an important 3-game set. Yankees hanging on to the #1 wild card spot. Yankees beat Boston today by a score of 5-1. And the pitch taken away. Trey Mancini has had a base hit and flied out to center field.
Yeah, big series for the Yanks, 4-game with the Red Sox, who so now goes back to 4 games in the loss column. The Red Sox behind, or the Yankees behind the Red Sox with 1 more to be played.
The Yankees only have a 1.5 game lead for the wild card #1 spot. They are now 72-63. Minnesota is 70-64. Leone up in the bullpen. Going to make full use of all the expanded roster people in the pen. Rodriguez is ready to go for the Orioles. So Miley probably done. And the pitch is going to be taken down low. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Trey Mancini. Couple of hits, 12 at bats in the series, much better on the year. Came in with a .316 average and a couple of home runs against Toronto. Outfield will play him deep. Barney, second baseman, over towards the bag. And a swing and a miss. Again, an off-speed breaking ball. He's got a lot of velocities on a lot of moving pitches.
Well, you talk about there are no such thing as fastball count. I mean, we saw it right there. And again, you don't really, probably haven't seen enough of them, even though I'm sure somebody had said, okay, this is what this guy does. He's not going to throw it by you, but he's changing speeds with the best of them.
That one goes to the backstop. And down to second base goes Adam Jones. So that could be a big wild pitch.
Yeah, and force out, taken away. The fact that now all of a sudden base hit gets a run. If you can do that, you'll close within 1. Mancini, of course, and they're going to come out and talk about what kind of signs we're going to use with a runner at second.
So Mancini.
And you also got a guy that's hitting close to 350 with runners in scoring position. Look at that 3-2 count, 440.
Runner at second base, 2 down. Chris Davis waiting on deck. Mancini, 7th best average in the league in these situations, 348. Santos with a 3-2. Trey will pop it up. First base side. Catcher. Haley will make it, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Orioles continue to be kept off the board, 2-0.
time. Came in with an 8-10 record. And again, pitched very well. Really only a couple of mistakes. 2 runs on the night. More strikes than normal after a 24-pitch first inning, which he got himself out of trouble. Only a home run to Pilar on a 0-2 pitch, then a sacrifice fly. So he will leave after pitching well. It certainly gives the Orioles a chance to pitch. Actually, pitch count comes down a little bit. 6 innings. It was at 19 something, so it's a little bit lower than that. And now Richard Rodriguez will come in, who's had a another monster year down at AAA. They required him from Houston. And again, this will be his major league debut.
Out of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. He is 28 years old. 8 years in the minors without a chance until this year to have his major league debut. 4-0, 11 saves, a 1.32 ERA with the Tides. 41 appearances. And in the air to left field, Trey Mancini going back again, looking up. It'll hit right at the base of the wall. On his way to second base is Darwin Barney, and Barney leads off the 7th inning with a double on the first major league delivery by Rodriguez.
Well, that didn't take long. Trying to get in and ends up running right down the middle of the league plate. And Barney goes, I can hit that pitch, and does. Smacks it. And right there, Trey Mancini said, I better go get it off the wall, and short hops it. Blue Jays, trying to add runs.
Leadoff double will help the cause. They're 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Goins up. He has struck out, grounded out. Machado playing for a bunt, so is Davis, and the pitch will be taken up and away. Rodriguez was a non-roster invitee to the Orioles spring training camp, so the Orioles able to get a look at him in some of the spring training games. Big finish in Norfolk, second half of the season. 1-0 delivery reached for. Only play is going to be at first. Beckham gets it there. The runners moved up to third with 1 away. Well, one of the favorites. This is back, the 2018 Orioles Pet Calendar presented by Pet ER. It's now on sale at Orioles.com/pet calendar. You can get it here at the ballpark or at the official team store in York. Proceeds benefit Barks, the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. Manny with the 2 members of the family there. What was it, a Shih Tzu and a Husky?
It looked like it.
Little mini Husky. Infield is drawn in. And that hit him. He will take first base. Pitch riding in. He was striding for it.
Yep. Again, every attempt to try to cover the outside corner. So again, he comes in right there. I mean, you could see and just gets the wrist right in the way. Easily put yourself in a position to get hurt. Again, the moving fastball.
He's been on the DL, I think, long enough to tap the trainer and go, leave me alone.
It's a long way from my knee. I'm fine. Get away. I'm catching a shutout. I don't need you.
I'm staying here. So Meleon hit by a pitch. That'll put runners on at first and third. Does set up a potential double play and a ground ball. With
that's a positive way of the half. The glass half full.
And Steve Pearce will be the hitter. Pearce drew a walk in the 6th inning and scored. Pilar a home run in the 5th. RBI sac fly Morales in the 6th. 2 runs on the board for Toronto. Now first and third with 1 down.
And of course, with Steve Pearce, it's all about making your pitches. The Orioles certainly know where his strengths are. Inside middle hitter, pull hitter. Hits the ball sharply. And again, home run power inside half, and they're sitting down and away. Let's see if he can make that pitch.
Pierce, that one too far outside for a ball. So Steve, a couple of hits in 13 at bats here in this series against his former franchise. He's played first base 2 games, left field in this one. 27 home runs lifetime in this ballpark with a .269 average at Camden Yards. Park he used to call home when with the O's. Outside 2-0.
And trying to, the book on Pierce, better fastball hitter than breaking ball hitter. So first pitch a breaking ball, ball 1. Second one breaking ball, ball 2. Now you either better make a good pitch here or get lucky or throw him a breaking ball, and that's what happens when you come to this level.
.2-0 delivery on the way, and he'll make a pitch for a strike.
Yeah, Pierce looking away, said, not swinging at that one. Potential double play ball pitch.
Defense straight out high. Infield, of course, at double play depth. Scope moves a couple of steps towards second. In the air, down the line, right field. That one headed towards the corner, and that will be a foul ball. Not by that much. On the line, the 3:18 mark. So runners back to first and third. Toronto holding the Orioles to just 1 run last night. Orioles, that was enough to win it in 13, and so far none in this one. And that's an offense, the Orioles offense, which has been since the All-Star break #1 in runs. Orioles came into today's play 20 runs ahead of Minnesota, the team in second with runs scored. Orioles 82 home runs, the most since the break as well. That one high in the air, right center field. Scope out, Jones in. Adams there. Runner is going to tag, fake the go, throw all the way in.
Yeah, Wednesday afternoon a ball dropped when Jimenez was pitching, and not tonight. Boy, Kushlan in. Critical play, nice pitch by Rich Rodriguez. He gets the ball in, and again, you're going to go, at least attempt and feign that you're going to go, and you can see the strong throw. You can see Rodriguez backing it up. So textbook baseball right there. Go get it and don't let him advance.
And 2 down. So the runners remain at first and third, and that'll bring Donaldson up. He's 1 for 3, has picked up a single. He has the good numbers with runners in scoring position coming in at 328. Asher, who just was added again to the Orioles roster, getting ready in the pen. And Rodriguez in his debut trying to work his way out of it. Wade Miley, couple of runs, 4 hits over 6. Stroman, of course, hit by that line drive. Only worked an inning and 2/3, couple of hits, 3 strikeouts. 1-0 count. 7th inning of another pitcher's duel. Good movement, but it misses down low.
Well, Rich Rodriguez, his whole career, it's very few home runs. Sinking fastball. And again, at this level, Donaldson's going to be looking heater. And of course, 37 home runs last year, 41 the year before. Missed 35 games this year, so home runs are down. There's a perfect pitch. Yep.
Rodriguez gets it in at 94, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
You could still pitch at this level if you could command your fastball, and there's a perfect example of it. Josh Donaldson looking in, he throws it on the corner, he takes it. So you're somewhat back into the count.
Here's the 2-1 delivery to him. Donaldson will take that as well. It'll just miss away. Rodriguez, we were talking about the finish that he had with Norfolk. He had a .84 ERA in 10 games in August in Norfolk. That'll get your attention. He had good numbers anyway, but he improved on them in the final month at AAA. 3-ball, 1-strike count, 2 down. Dangerous pitch. Barney, male of the base runners. 3-1 delivery on the way, and that's there. And a full count, 3-2. Double by Barney now at third. Maley got the first hit by a pitch. Full count delivery, runner goes. Up in the air, left field. Got a lot of it. Way back, and goodbye home run. Donaldson on a 3-2 with 2 down. Delivers the homer and a 5-0 Toronto lead. 3 RBIs.
Well, that's why it's Josh Donaldson. You know, he gets to see all those fastballs, and that works if you make a good pitch. And as it turns out, Rich Rodriguez in his major league debut doesn't. And he's waiting. And that majestic fly ball off the bat, you know it's a home run. It runs in the middle of the plate, and that's where he runs into trouble.
So 24 home runs on the season for Josh Donaldson. That's his first this year against the Orioles. And he's got 61 RBIs on the season. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. Toronto as a team hitting just .217 with runners in scoring position and 2 down. So the second home run of the ball game for the Jays. The solo shot Pilar. That ball into the shift. Beckham has got it over to first base. Smoke is retired. But a big 3-2 2-out blast puts 3 more up on the board. 7th inning stretch time. 5-0 Jays. Event going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. Let's take a look around. Time for our unlimited baseball break. It is brought to you by T-Mobile. Indians are absolutely red hot. Cleveland vying for the best record in the American League. Yankees defeated the Red Sox today. Matt Holliday off the DL got a big 3-run homer. Twins lead the Royals 14-0. They're 8 for 11 with runners in scoring position. No home runs, still getting them. Rangers lead the Angels 3-2 in the 6th inning. Solo shot there by Gomez. A.J. Griffin has given up 2 on 4. Talked about Cleveland. They've now won 10 in a row. Their 79th win. Yeah, and they're waiting for Andrew Miller to come back off the DL, who was such an integral part of their postseason, get all the way to to the World Series, and they ended up losing, but they had a great series. So, again here, hey, got to score some runs, and now they need obviously more than 5. Well, Rich Rodriguez, I mean, this is the big leagues. You learn here. You don't throw 5 or 6 fastballs to Josh Donaldson in the 6th one in the middle of the plate, and that kind of turned this game around. Miley, boy, would you have liked to have had 6 innings with only 2 runs all year long? He'd probably have about 15, 16 wins now. So he pitches well. And again, this time of the year, you're trying to get your young guys in, so when you do have a lead, you can go to your mainstays. Just didn't work out so far tonight. Yes, you see Castillo, the veteran catcher, talking to Rodriguez on the bench. Now the offense has got to go to work as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. All kinds of major league debuts in the last 2 ball games here at Camden Yards for both of these teams. Chris Davis has struck out twice. Santos, his major league debut, on the mound. Pitch will be taken up high for a ball. Inning and 2/3 Stroman, 2 1/3 Dermody, who came out of the bullpen, the left-hander. Now Santos just called up today. 2-0 count. Shift on against Chris. In the air the other way. Pierce with a long run.
Yeah, it looks like the wind's going to bring it back in.
Fair territory even. Davis retired, 1 away in the 7th inning. Join Major League Baseball and the Orioles in the efforts to help victims of the devastation caused by Hurricane Harvey. You can do so by visiting youcaring.com/MLB supports. So 1 away. Here is Trumbo, base hit, struck out. Oriole DH. Now has a 4-game hit streak. Swing and a miss on one up and in at 90 miles an hour.
Well, that 90, and we've seen 92, we've seen curveballs, sliders, double change-ups, and mixing them around, staying out of the middle of the plate. Strike thrower. Germany did a great job. I mean, just imagine, you got one of the best starters in the American League. Trumbo literally knocks him out of the game with a line drive, and then the bullpen picks him up.
In the air. Smoke wants it. And he's got it. A couple of quick outs here in the 7th. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Blue Jays 2 for 7, runners in scoring position tonight. The Orioles have had only 2 chances, 0 for 2. Orioles have left 5 on base, 4 have been left on by the Jays. But as Jim said, it's been about the bullpen. Santos now has worked 2 2/3, given up only 1 hit.
I'm kind of wondering how he was 3 13 in the minors. I know the minor league's different and the team may not be very good, blah, 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 but they bring him up because he can throw strikes, and he has, and he's changed speeds. There's another look. I mean, I'm going to look at a little Louis T on here. Give me a little different looks. Chris Stroman did that too, but certainly a lot more experience. Major league debut for Luis Santos.
1 ball, 1 strike count on Castillo's 0 for 2.
Just misses off the inside corner. But maybe that's why the walk to inning ratio is so low in the minors.
Trumbo's interesting. He's studying. Mark always watching, trying to gain some knowledge. Donaldson on the worm eater will get the out, and the Orioles are retired in order. We've completed 7, and the Jays have the 5-0 lead. Time brought to you by Miller Lite.
Yeah, again, Marcus Stroman. You never going to have a tough night, but you never, never even wished for anything like this to happen. A little slider right off the right elbow, as it turns out. So he goes down, will eventually get up, leave the game. I'm not sure he really wanted to leave the game, but they force him to get out. Everybody looking on because, again, of course, if you're an Oriole pitcher, that can happen to you. So apparently, as you mentioned, Gary, the X-ray's negative. Contusion.
And that's the good news.
Yeah.
So Bautista will lead it off. Top of the 8th inning. Bautista's base hit, infield hit, 1 for 3. Pitch to him will be up high. Rodriguez on. Has worked as the only member of the bullpen out. Miley went 6. Rodriguez giving up 3 runs, 2 hits, 7th inning. Big hit batter. Number 9 hitter, the catcher. Miley got hit by a pitch. That put 2 on, and then a couple of batters later, Donaldson got the 3-2 2-out home run.
Yeah, and the scouting report is, hey, get him out with breaking balls. He tries to. Now it's 2-0. What's he going to do now? Fastball, and you get the home run swing. That's the way the big leagues is. And, again, they tell you, and who knows? It could be nerves, different ball, but lights out at AAA, and then you have to come up here. We'll see. Again, the 3-run home run, kind of big blow for the Jays. You can live with the Pilar solo on an 0-2 pitch. He just had he's red hot in the series anyway. But Donaldson, that turns the game right around. The 3-run home run, as we know. 1
strike away from getting out of the inning. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery by Rodriguez. Bautista will take it inside. Morales and then Pilar are due up. Toronto came into this series having lost 4 in a row. They were able to get out of that with the 11-8 win in game 1. Orioles came back with a 1-0 13-inning win last night. 3-2 delivery on the way. Bautista's got a base hit. Single to lead off the 8th.
Yeah, when you live in the middle of the plate at this level and you get to see 5-6 pitches, and again, your good scout will say this, and again, I'm certainly not. It's a little premature to say this kid can't pitch in the big leagues because this buck's going to come out. But your scout says, okay, well, if he does get behind at this level, will he get his breaking ball over tonight? Couldn't do that.
So we will get a pitching change. Just the second bullpen member, though, for the Orioles. This pitching change brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube stores now do brake services. Stop in, let Jiffy Lube perform a free brake inspection today. 1 on, nobody out, 8th inning.
So he started and relieved. A little bit better out of the bullpen. 6 starts, 3 of them quality. 4-pitch pitcher, curveball, slider, changeup. So he's been around, knows how to pitch.
He's got a runner on at first base. Morales up, the DH. Sac fly his last time to the plate. Morales is also flied out, grounded out. Infield double play depth with a shift on against him. Morales will take the pitch up high for a ball. Kendrys Morales, the switch hitter. He'll turn around here after the other side against Maile. And for Morales, batting right-handed, 352, 220 left, but 19 home runs from this side of the plate. Lifts that one foul.
Yeah, 3 of those 19 first night in. Changed that game. 7 RBIs, 4 for 5. When he wasn't hitting home runs, he was hitting singles in the left field, driving in runs.
This year he's got 9 RBIs against the Orioles with a 192 batting average. Actually a little less than that now, is 192 coming in. Alec Asher, 1 ball 1 strike count. Bautista, base runner at first. Right-hander's 1-1 delivery. Up overhead, and the count at 1-2.
I know there's a ledge here, but I always wonder if one of those is going to sneak into the booth.
Yep. The line drives that come right straight back at us.
You duck.
But those that they're up over your head, you can't see them. No. And then they come down and land.
The wind, yeah, we've seen balls, blow from really into the seats back into fair territory tonight, even though it doesn't look like it's a blustery wind. It must be up there, though.
1-2, outstanding changeup.
Yeah, he's got the curveball. He's got the changeup. He can cut it a little bit early on, maybe cutter crazy, but this is a nice hook. And of course, Asher's been up and down so many times. Actually, one of his best starts was against the Blue Jays up in Toronto, where he held him to 1 run. Nice pitch.
So Pilar will stand in, done his damage with his 14th home run, 5th inning, leading it off. He's got an 8-game hit streak now. He is 6 for 13 in these 3 games. Bautista still at first. Pitch is a called strike up high. Blue Jays using the home run ball tonight to account for 4 of the 5. The other, the sac fly by Morales.
And that's what we were talking about. Kevin Pillar having a great series in the pull mode too. Doubles. 33 doubles now, 14 home runs and a triple. So he's closing in on 50 extra base hits.
0-1 delivery on the way to him, and he hits that hard. Foul.
Looking for double 34 right there on the curveball. Yeah, it's still amazing. I mean, how can a guy with this experience, this good a hitter, hit 158 with runners in scoring position? Great angle. This curveball is up in the zone, just gonna hook foul. It's just one of those mind-boggling numbers with a runner in scoring position number under 160.
Now a 2-strike count on him. Pilar reaching, protecting a little bit on that one, and fouls it back.
They even waited well on that pitch.
Count will remain at 2 strikes. 14,815 the announced attendance. 14,815 on a holiday Saturday night, and a wet one. 0-2 pitch on the way, jammed him, shattered bat. Manny's got to go to first, up, and gets it there in time for the out. Down to second base goes Bautista. Oriole fans, when the Orioles score 5 runs or more, get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com. Promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. 2 down. Runner on at second base. Can they get another 2-out RBI? They got the 3 of them on the Donaldson home run. Barney's had a double, a run scored, 1 for 3 in the ball game. And the pitch to him is going to be taken down low.
Well, as we talked about after that losing 11-8, the Orioles, all the runs came with 2 outs on Thursday night.
Rodriguez, who gave up the homer over there in his major league debut. A 1-0 count. Bautista big lead at second. There for a strike. Jays have gone 2 for 7. tonight with runners in scoring position. Seven for 30 in these 3 games in these situations. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Barney, the second baseman, looking for an RBI. He'll take the pitch down low. Castillo keeps it in front of him. 2-1.
Well, they came in here talking about the Jays, what, 220, the lowest in the American League. They went 5 for 10. It went to 223. Then they go 0 for 13. It goes back to 220. Orioles went from 303 to 300, which is the best in the league. Going, what, 0 for 11 last night.
2 ball, 1 strike count here.
Oh
my.
Goodbye.
Way back left field. Going back. Don't hurt yourself. First row again. Goodbye home run. A 2-run shot with 2 down. Barney gets it here in the 8th inning, and it is a 7-0 Toronto lead, their 3rd homer of the game.
Yeah, Barney off of Rodriguez major league debut clubbed a double. Now a hanging slider for a 2-run home run. And you get an idea of how small. It's not a good pitch. Might have been a cutter, but it's right in the middle of the plate. And right here, Barney, who doesn't hit home runs, you just run out of room. I mean, it's 364 the power alley, and that ball goes a foot over the wall. Just can't get there quick enough.
And the pitch will be taken away. So Asher, Miley, Rodriguez, and Asher, the 3 Oriole pitchers, have all surrendered a home run. And Toronto using the long ball against the Orioles in this game. That will be fouled away.
Yeah, you can live with the solos. You know, the solo home runs that, you know, that Pilar hit off of Miley, but the 2- and 3-run home runs, they're killers, especially when you're getting shut out.
7 runs on 8 hits for Toronto. No runs, 4 hits for the Orioles. In the air to left, Mancini's coming the other way this time, and he'll be able to haul this one in. But 2 runs in, and Toronto continues with a 7-0 shutout. Four-game set. Chris Tillman will be on the mound against Brett Anderson. Our coverage on MASN at 1 o'clock goes extra, presented by Southwest. Game coverage at 1:30. All the access you need right here on MASN.
Well, Anderson, you know, you look at the numbers. Of course, you know, veteran lefty. He is coming off a very good game. They're very impressed. Tillman has been struggling and obviously working hard to try to get better. So again, big game really. If the Orioles end up losing tonight, they need to win tomorrow to split the series. And again, how about Luis Santos? Comes in, major league debut, and looking a little bit like Louis Tiant, even though he's from the Dominican and Louis came out of Cuba.
Well, the Orioles bat in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Smith is lined out, reached on an error. Leon's been up a couple of times. He's getting ready to come on. Pitch will be inside for a ball. So the Orioles scored 1 run in 13 innings in last night's ball game. They haven't scored any in 7 innings in this game. And they've had 3 runs in their last 28 innings in this series. Well, Toronto's pumped up a 7-0 lead here. Pitch there for a strike, 2-1. Question being asked there by Barney to Smoke.
What was that pitch? Was that a sinker? You know,
they haven't seen this guy either.
No. Well, I think it was just a 7-run lead, throw a strike, and it sailed.
That one tagged in the air to right center field, way back of the wall, and goodbye home run. The Orioles are on the board. Seth Smith delivers the long ball, leading off the 8th inning to break the shutout up.
Yeah, you pitch to the scoreboard, and Seth Smith, 2-1 fastballs are going to have a pretty good swing when you end up in the middle of the plate. We've seen that the way that the Blue Jays have done to the Oriole pitchers. So home run number 13. Got to get started somewhere. Get the engine going, the offensive engine.
And a 7-1 ball game. Seth Smith gives the Orioles something to work with here. Pitch on the way will be taken for a strike. Our Lexus of Towson drive of the game.
Yeah, there it is, and 7-0 becomes 7-1.
Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer for 7 straight years. Come see why. LexusofTowson.com.
Tim Beckham needs a hit to continue that 11-game hit streak.
He will foul that one back the other way. And for Pratik Pandey, our Maryland Lottery contestant, that's $500 on the home run. Tim Beckham, 8th inning. Orioles some time to work with here. Not a lot of it. Need some base runners. Not with that one.
Yeah, see, when you are pitching from a windup, you can quick pitch, and that's what he does. So instead of going over his head, he just goes. And Beckham caught flat-footed. It's part of the legality of what you can do. And so you get your matchup, I suppose. Then you get the, Leon's got a big fastball, 95, 96. So Santos, major league debut, may end up getting a win, or maybe it's at Dermody. You can get the fastball in the mid-90s. Done a great job for him. You can see from the numbers, other than the save opportunities. Again, a lot of times it's not actually you're in a save situation, but be pitching in the 7th and the 8th. Low numbers. Lefties only at 187, keeps the ball in the ballpark. And again, runner in scoring position number all year long. Only 6 extra base hits. So again, power arm trying to come in, maintain a 7-1 lead for the Jays.
Orioles have not done well against León this year. 6 previous outings covering 8 1/3 innings. 1 run on 2 hits. He has struck out 7, walked 3. The Orioles batting average against him this year is .077. Manny Machado with the bases empty. Machado an 0 for 3 in the ball game. León working with 1 down, a run in. Smith's home run to lead it off to make it 7-1. Timeout asked for loudly. Out in right field, a ball had come free. So Manny stands back in to face León.
Yeah, picked up on waivers. He was designated for assignment off the 40-man roster.
Manny's 1 for 3 off the right-hander.
Yeah, a lot of strikeouts. 17 strikeouts last 11 innings. And again, we saw the other night he had 97. Scoreless inning on Thursday. 11-8 win for the Jays.
You got Jones, Mancini, and Davis in that inning. That'll be fouled back. Manny with a 1-ball, 1 strike count. One and 1, 1 down. Santos 3 1/3. Solid. 1 run, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts. Major league debut, a good one.
You never know it the way he pitched, and
no.
Right now, hey.
Official scorer will decide if Toronto wins, who wins this. Generally, it's the first pitcher on in this case. Dermody would get the win, but Santos certainly.
Yeah, what Santos goes 3 1/3 innings, and Dermody 2 1/3.
Yep. 2-1 delivery on the way. Manny really reaching on that one.
Yeah, everything's hard from León, and you know, again, the fastball a little bit quicker than his average ones, around 95. The other night 97. You know, he also has a cutter, the slider you just saw at 90 to 91. Last year with the Diamondbacks.
2-2 set up, down and away again, way outside this time. And to be reached for, and the count goes to 3-2. Impressive pitching. This is the kind of pitching that most baseball people were looking for from Toronto for an entire season. That they would have an offense and that they would have great starting pitching. Injuries have limited those opportunities. It's been the young pitchers now here in this series, at least, who have so far come through for them. 3-2 delivery down the line and foul.
Yeah, well, they were the best in the American League, and not too many people really know that. If looking back, they win 89 games last year. But they had the best earned run average around, and again, because of, you know, Sanchez was 15-3. He's got a blister problem. Hasn't been really pitched much. Hap won 20 games, 20-4 on the year. Scored him a bunch of runs. They come in 8th in starting pitching this year.
Pitches up and away, and he'll take it for a walk. So León surrenders the walk with a run already in. The push for the postseason continues. The Orioles host the Yankees on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They'll miss the final showdown of these great division rivals on Labor Day Monday. First pitch is 2:05. Fans will receive a Tim Beckham T-shirt. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD.
T-shirt night for Tim Beckham. Yeah, I thought, how about the Astros? I think they were having Carlos Correa T-shirt night. They actually donated all those instead of giving them out to the people that need clothes and shelter down in Houston.
They're playing a doubleheader. No score in the second game. Houston came away with a big offensive output and a 12-8 win against the Mets in the first game in Houston. And then they will play a single game tomorrow. Jonathan Schoop 0 for 3. Runner at first, 1 down. Schoop lashes one into left field. Pierce will come over to get it. Machado will stop at second base, and the Orioles put 2 on here in the 8th.
Wouldn't it be great if the Orioles launch one of their typical and certainly potential comebacks? 7-1, you walk Manny Machado, and then you hang a slider, boom. Now all of a sudden, we'll probably maybe see some action in their bullpen.
That one hit 110 into left field by Jonathan Schoop, who's got a 6-game hit streak now. 2 on, 1 down. And Adam Jones will be coming to the plate. Adams had a couple of hits, 2 for 3.
Yeah, I don't think Adams not thinking maybe I'll bunt my way on if Donaldson plays back where he is. There's one thing about Adam, unselfish player. Trumbo waiting for his turn.
Leone against Leone. Adam is 1 for 7. 2 on, 1 down. Leone's delivery swung on, grounded to short. Goins, Barney. That's what Toronto needed. So the Orioles will get 1 run on a couple of hits, no errors. They leave 1 on. The home run picked up by Smith. The year, the Orioles have hosted Catholic Relief Services Helping Hands, volunteer meal packaging program. Successful fundraiser 2016 and even more successful this year. The goal 25,000 meals. They exceeded that this season. The meal challenge going to the hungry men, women, children of West Africa. And there's the big sign with the thank you. Trey Mancini involved in helping out there today for the Orioles. So the Orioles going to make some D changes, cashing in on this one. Flaherty's going to go to third base. Chance Sisco is going to make his major league debut as the catcher, and Joey Rickert will come on to play in center field for Adam Jones. Top of the 9th inning. 9-1-2 will be due up. Luke Maile, the catcher. A big hit by a pitch in the 7th inning. Got on, would score in the 3-run homer by Donaldson. Pillar's had a solo shot, RBI sac fly by Morales. Orioles only run the Smith home run. Pitch is taken for a strike. Alec Asher remains on the mound. So here's our battery mates who spent a good deal of time together at Norfolk, and Asher and Chance Sisco. 0-1 will be taken for a strike. And not an accident that Buck Showalter would do this in this situation, never mind the score, but give Sisco a chance to come on and catch somebody on the mound he knows well. Breaking ball down low, 1-2. One ball, 2-strike delivery. Asher on a foul tip at the plate. Sisco had 97 games with Norfolk at 267. 7 home runs, 47 RBIs. He was the #1 prospect in the Orioles organization, according to Baseball America, at the beginning of the season.
Well, it's a big jump, AA to AAA. You got to learn, really working on the catching, release time.
1-2 to center. Rickert
playing right over there. Easy play for him. And
one away in the 9th inning. RBI Baseball 2017 is out for Xbox PS4. I like to call it iOS and Android. Enjoy fast-paced pick-up and play MLB action packed with your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and much more. Breakout MLB season is here. Come to play. Learn more at rbigame.com. iOS is what the rest of the world calls it. Yeah. One down. Here is Pierce. He will take the pitch for a strike on the outside corner. Was walk in the 6th inning and scored. Mesa back up.
Yep. Was Meme in there too?
No.
No, Meme wasn't in that.
No. Neither
Meme or Meme
nor Mimes. Yeah. None were in there. None of that.
It's hard to keep up, isn't it?
It is. It's terribly difficult. Pierce has had an 0 for 3. Center. Rickert turns his back. Warning track. Makes the catch.
Yeah, Death Valley sometimes. You could see him try to stay inside of it, but skied it to center. He gets an 0 for after missing a double by about an inch to start the game. Did walk though. Ended up scoring in the 6th.
So 2 down and nobody on 9th inning. Here's Donaldson. His big blast. Home run number 24. 3 RBI homer in the 7th inning. He's had 2 hits, a single. 2 for 4 in the ball game. And the breaking ball will be taken for a ball. Minnesota's beating Kansas City tonight 17-0 in the 8th inning. They have had a 14-hit attack in that ball game against the Royals. Started for the Royals. Garcia worked a third of an inning, gave up 4 runs on 4 hits. Machado came on, gave up 6 runs on 4 hits in 2/3 of an inning, and that ball game was about over. So Minnesota obviously in that chase. They've been in that number 2 position in the wild card. It looks like they're going to stay there for another day with a little bigger lead.
Well, Sano's been out. They traded their Kinsler was the all-star closer. He left and didn't matter.
It's like they traded and then started the run.
Yeah. Well, but Byron Buxton, the former #1 draft choice, in fact, worked out at Ed Smith Stadium years ago, as about a 16, 17-year-old kid. He had 3 home runs in a game. His average has gotten close to 250. Very good defensive outfielder.
2-2 where they weren't. Shift was on the other way. Donaldson a 3-hit ball game.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, okay, he seems like he's probably played 6 or 7 years. This is only he's under 6 years. About five years and maybe 50 days. So he's under contract for a couple more years and been talking of extending his contract. I would think the Jays would want to keep him.
Yeah. 2 down, 1 on here in the 9th inning.
Yeah, Smoke got a 2-year deal and apparently he's relaxed. Home runs are up by about 15 more than he's ever hit.
That one's going to get away from Chance Sisco and the runner will move down to second base. So the Jays now 7 runs on 8 hits. That crossed up on that maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of, well, maybe, but that's hard to do with a runner at first. A lot of times it happens with a runner at second. Maybe more movement than he expected.
Smoke with a 1-0 count, 2 down. Shift on against him. Flaherty the only defender on that third base side. 1-0 pitch by Asher, and that's going to be their first strike. Both teams held down early in the ball game. 5th inning, first run, Pillar's home run, then Toronto got it going. 1-1 delivery. That's just going to miss. Miley 2 runs, 4 hits over 6. Rodriguez his debut. 1 run, 3 hits in an inning plus. 2-1 delivery by Asher, and that'll be on the outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, Smoke, first run draft choice back in 2008, 11th pick. Yeah, switch hitter, comes out of University of South Carolina. They compared him to Mark Teixeira coming up. They figured, switch hitter. Of course, Teixeira would win about 8 or 9 Gold Gloves. It seemed like that.
This is Smoke's home run side of the plate. 29 of his 36 hit left-handed. Power the offensive side the other. 374 right-handed. 263 left-handed.
And he's got enough power. I mean, he always has out over the plate. This year hitting more home runs to the opposite field, especially from this side of the plate.
Full count delivery on the way, and a swing and a miss. So no runs, no one hit, and a base runner left on. The Orioles, bottom of the 9th inning, Mancini, Davis, and Trumbo. By Southwest. Gas to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer here at Camden Yards. Bottom half of the 9th inning. Jays looking for the win, up 7-1. Carrera will come on to play in left field for Steve Pearce.
Yeah, Tim Meza comes in to hopefully finish it. You can see high ERA, hard thrower. Yeah, mid-90s fastball, pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher. Looks a lot taller than 6'2", but hard thrower. And again, you see the righties, they wear him out at 450.
Leone worked 2/3 of an inning, gave up 1 hit and 1 walk.
So again, the 9th, we talked about all the rookies, major league debuts. This is only his 9th game. Strikes out 15 guys per 9 innings, so he's been striking people out, but also giving up hits.
Orioles bat here in the 9th with Trey Mancini having a base hit, his first time up since has popped out, flied out. Toronto trying to pick up their 5th win against the Orioles in 15 games. And the pitch from the left-hander will be in there for a strike. So Mancini with a couple of hits, 13 at bats in this 3-game set. Toronto pitching, dominating here in this game. That'll be a base hit leading off the 9th inning for Mancini. 2-hit ball game for Trey. Chris Davis with an 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts, 2 hits, 12 at bats, 1 home run, couple of RBIs. In the 3-game set, shift on against him. Outfield playing way back here. Davis takes the pitch inside for a ball. Tanner's delivery to him is there for a strike. Dermody, who came on after the injury to Stroman, if the Jays maintain the lead, will get the win. His second, he'll be 2-0. Wade Miley will drop to 8-11, barring a big comeback here. 2 off Miley, 4 off Rodriguez, run off Asher. Breaking ball, set up outside, missed away, 2-2. Mancini not being held at first. Davis on a little roller. Goins. He'll go over to first. He thought about second, but wasn't sure, so get the out.
Yeah, his thought process, because he's a good defender, quickly shift. I think that was Donaldson actually who played. He played shortstop. You know, when we had the first injury to Tulowitzki, they actually moved him to shortstop for a couple of games. Batista came in, and you know he'd come up as a third baseman, played third, trying to get more offense, and so he's comfortable.
Good play, good decision. Moves a runner down to second base. Mancini, but more important is an out here in the 9th inning. Mark Trumbo has a base hit. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. The Oriole DH. 1 down, runner at second base. Over the top, in for a strike. Orioles 0 for 3 in these situations in the ball game tonight. 0-1 delivery on the way. Will be outside. Another one of those who would have thought games. Stroman, one of the best in baseball, 11-6, knocked out, inning and 2/3, line drive. Trumbo, 107 miles an hour, hit him in the arm. Fortunately, apparently, it's just, I say just, it's a contusion. But if you saw that play, it looked a lot worse.
Yeah,
the bullpen's gotten it done.
Yeah, it really has. And you know, again, you probably use different pitchers. You know, Rodriguez got his major league debut, 3-run home run by Donaldson. After you use him, you may have not seen those guys if you'd had a lead. But again, the lack of offense and the fact that their bullpen was as good as it was. I mean, Dermody pitched great. Luis Santos comes out of Buffalo AAA and really made some pitches.
Santos gave up the home run to Smith, but worked 3 1/3, 1 run, 2 hits. Leon worked 2/3 of an inning, a hit and a walk. Orioles have only 1 walk in the game. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Mancini off second base. Trumbo a golf shot into center field. That'll be a base hit and an RBI.
Well, there you go. He needs to have a big September. That's a nice little start. He goes down. You know, he does play golf, and right there you can see it. This is on the ground. I mean, goodbye. Yeah, nice bat control right there. And they're playing up the middle, but the ball hits sharply, skipping off the mound. So the big guy goes down and gets one. RBI, base hit. Nice.
59 batted in for Trumbo on the year.
Yeah,
and 7-2.
He needs to have one of those 8 home run, 25 RBI months, which is capable of doing that.
Yep. Still only 1 away, a runner on at first base. Joey Rickert will get his first at bat. He's hitting in Wellington Castillo's spot. Castillo had an 0 for 3 in the ball game.
Because we all know how that happens with Mark Trumbo.
Yes.
You don't talk about it, you just do it.
Towering fly ball, left center field.
And they're all looking around. Carrera goes, I can get it.
2 down.
Yeah, Anthony Santander pitch hit last night. A chance to, I think, what about on the, it's hard to keep track. I'll go back and look at my scorecard. About the 11th with a chance to win it for the Orioles. Struck out.
2 down. A run in. 7-2 ball game. Trumbo on at first base, and Santander's the pinch hitter. Smith hitting in the 9th spot, delivered the home run in the 8th inning, his 13th. Also reached on an error and lined out hard. He hit the ball hard. 2 at bats. Runner goes, not holding, fouled off. So the Orioles will come into the ball game tomorrow 69-67. They'll be 2.5 out of a wild card spot. Minnesota wraps up their win tonight. Finish up the series 4-game set with Toronto, and then have the Yankees coming in for a Monday day game. Fouled again into the screen by Santander.
Yeah, Anthony, again, not a lot of at bats. Rule 5 guy, trying to hard to keep it sharp as you would like, but you don't see live pitching. And he's just going to try to put it in play here somewhere. Not always easy to do.
0-2, 2 down. Wild cut. He'll be tagged, and the ball game is over. So the Orioles here in the 9th inning. We get a run on a couple of hits, no errors, 1 left on base. Dermody gets the win. He is 2-0. Miley, the loser, 8-11, and the Jays come away with an impressive 7-2 win on the strength of their bullpen. They'll wrap the 4-game setup tomorrow. Chris Tillman on the mound against Brett Anderson. Our coverage on Masson will begin at 1. O's Extra presented by Southwest. Game coverage at 1:30. This has been a Masson presentation. Tom and Rick standing by. A look at game number 3 in this set, as the Orioles unable to mount the offense, and the Jays got more than needed to win it 7-2. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew, I'm Gary Thorne. Adieu.